Chapter 597. -2. 2 billion. Spiritual energy storm. Void shattering. -2. 3 billion. 2 punches dealt 5 billion damage. The Asura's huge body was sent flying, and the tranquil world's skill was interrupted. The Asura's HP was also extremely terrifying, reaching 10 billion. Lu Chen's void shattering couldn't kill it instantly. After being sent flying by Lu Chen, the Asura quickly changed his skill. Asura world, past life, present life, future life. Asura directly split into 3, becoming 3 independent entities. The 3 Asuras attacked at the same time. Solipsistic, you're so stubborn. Your invincibility is about to end. Go repent in the Asura hell. Great reincarnation seal. In an instant, the Asura world shook violently, the sky fell, and the earth sank. My God, what kind of skill is this? It's so powerful. Gu Fei's eyes widened. This skill seemed to condense all the power of the Asura world. Even though the Asura world here might only be the tip of the iceberg of the real Asura world, it was still an independent space. The power of the entire space was unimaginable. Lu Chen's eyes almost popped out. This skill was no small matter, and he couldn't avoid it. There were only Gu Fei and the other 3 here. Lu Chen's virtuous might and defiant demonic might were useless. It was almost impossible for him to face this skill. The opportunity to move was 9 void steps. 9 void steps was a head-on movement skill, which meant that Lu Chen couldn't avoid it and rushed towards the great reincarnation seal. Lone tyrant. Gu Fei's eyes widened. Gui Yanran's heart was in her throat, and she even forgot to breathe. Her eyes were fixed on the 2 people in the field. In an instant, Lu Chen had taken his 9th step, and 9 vortexes spun wildly under his feet. The great reincarnation seal's level was not lower than 9 void steps. The void vortexes couldn't directly absorb the skill, and could only temporarily change the direction of the attack. However, as a skill that dealt continuous damage, if Lu Chen's every step was off by the slightest, if his timing was off by even half a second, it would be enough to kill him. In the blink of an eye, Lu Chen actually stepped out of the great Samsara Dharma seal and arrived in the void. You actually managed to escape from my great Samsara seal. This is impossible. I just like to do the impossible. Spiritual energy storm. Die for me. Shatter the void. With a single punch, a ball of light instantly exploded. It was so bright that people couldn't open their eyes. -1. 8 billion. It wasn't that the damage of the punch was only 8 billion, but the maximum HP of the clone was only 8 billion. Instant kill with 1 punch. Triple door, spiritual energy storm, shatter the void. Without stopping for a moment, Lu Chen had already flashed to the front of another physical avatar. You will regret this. I am trying to convert you. I don't need your enlightenment. Asura golden body protection. Even if it's a golden body, I'll crush it. Turn to primordial chaos attack. With a boom, -1. 8 billion. Before the 3rd physical avatar could speak, it was also instantly killed by Lu Chen with 1 punch. In the blink of an eye, the situation of the battle changed drastically. Lu Chen, who was in a desperate situation just now, actually killed 3 Asuras in the blink of an eye. Oh my God, he won, he actually won. This is unbelievable. Moran said in a daze. Just now, they were surrounded by danger, but in the blink of an eye, the situation was reversed. In the end, it was still Solipsistic who stood at the end. Too strong, 2 billion plus in 1 punch, could this be his true strength? This is the first time I've seen this guy go all out. Not only his attacks, but his reactions and decision-making in the battle can also be said to be perfect. If there was a trace of hesitation just now, the one who would die would be him. Gu Fei shook his head and could not help but sigh. The most terrifying thing about this guy is his combat talent. However, Dongfang Ji suddenly said, no, it's not his combat talent. The most terrifying thing about him is his stubbornness. It's impossible to break through one's inner demons within 15 seconds without an extremely firm belief. It's that guy's belief that supports him to continuously become stronger, to continuously defeat strong enemies. The symbiotic effect on Lu Chen's body had already dissipated, revealing his original body, which was the evil child form. At this moment, he had never felt so tired. Just as he was about to close his eyes, he saw the system notification. Killed not Heavenly Azura's soul remnant. Obtained 3 billion world evolution points. Obtained 1000 3rd rank 1st rank talent fragments. Obtained 2000 3rd rank 1-star evolution points. Triggered by greed, obtained reincarnation Sarira, immortal level treasure, can be extracted. Obtained Heaven's Eye, immortal level treasure. Obtained Whirlpool Key X2, triggered by greed, legend rank hidden quest completed. Based on the performance of the dungeon, the team members will receive their own rewards. This, another key, what the hell is this? Based on your performance in Azura World, you are provided with the following choices. Please choose a reward that you wish to exchange for from the following rewards. 1. Immortal Body Pill, 1000 points for any 3D item, x50, Immortal Spirit Pill x20, Middle Heaven Level Skill Great Reincarnation Seal, 2. Immortal Resistance Pill x50, 1000 points for any elemental resistance, Immortal Spirit Pill x20, Reincarnation Sarira Extraction Scroll, 3. Upgrade Eye of the Dark Gods to Immortal Tool or upgrade a Middle Heaven Level Skill to Middle Heaven Level Skill. 4. Key to the Wildlands. So many choices, other than the last one, the rest are all good. Lu Chen's spiritual energy could endure using Shatter the Void 5 times in a row, but Lu Chen himself was unable to endure it. His head was getting dizzier and dizzier, and his eyes were almost unable to open. Hold on a bit longer. Let's talk about it after choosing the reward. However, just as he finished speaking, Lu Chen fell into a deep sleep. After an unknown amount of time, Lu Chen still had not opened his eyes when he heard Jingui Yanran's voice beside him. He can even win like that. This guy is too strong. Do I still have a chance to surpass him? Look carefully. His skin is fine and tender, just like a child's. Also, are these ears serious? The tail is also a little cute. Is this your true body, or is that solipsistic your true body? What is your obsession? Who is the person who can help you climb out of a hopeless situation? Your lover. Lu Chen suddenly felt that someone was playing with his ears. He opened his eyes in a daze. Sure enough, it was Jingui Yanran. Hey, is it appropriate for you to play with someone's ears the moment you see them? Seeing Lu Chen open his eyes, Jingui Yanran was shocked. She hurriedly stuttered, you're awake. I saw a bug on your ear. Look, it flew away. What the heck? How could there be a bug in this place? It even flew away. You don't even know how to make up a lie. Lu Chen was also speechless. He struggled to sit up. He looked around. Sure enough, they were still in Azura World. Where are Gu Fei and the rest? They saw that you had fainted and knew that you were too tired. When they were bored, they went to look for an exit. The key is with me. Azura dropped it. Tell them to come back. As the saying goes, a thief has a guilty conscience. Jingui Yanran went to look for them. Oh, I know. So fierce. Playing with my ears won't make me pregnant. Humph, petty. Lu Chen shook his head. This girl was still not convinced. But then again, he felt that he had forgotten something important. After carefully recalling, Lu Chen suddenly widened his eyes. Damn, where's my reward? Chapter 598. Not long later, Gufei and the rest returned. Lu Chen hurriedly asked, "Did you guys get the hidden mission reward?" "Yes, the fourth heaven is indeed a legendary hidden mission, the reward is too generous. I got an immortal bracer, the attributes are very strong. I got little black's growth materials, this is the first time I've seen such high-grade materials. My reward is also very strong, my poison master talent increased by 1 grade. Mo Ran said excitedly. My wind and thunder barrier increased in quality. Lu Chen looked at this group of people in shock, they all got the reward. Then why didn't I get the reward? You got it, we got it for you. Yes, you were unconscious at that time, and there's a time limit for getting the reward. We were afraid that you would miss it, so we got it for you. Really? Then what did you get? Your reward is better than ours, but after our discussion, we still chose the most suitable one for you, that key to the wildlands. Mo Ran said. Lu Chen almost spat out a mouthful of blood. This was the reward he didn't want the most. No way, this is the result of your discussion. Isn't it better to get a bunch of immortal pills and immortal martial skills? Isn't it better to evolve weapons? Why did you choose a broken key for me? This. Didn't you say that to be stronger than others, you have to walk a path no one has walked before? The key to the wildlands was dropped by the Azura world, the others probably haven't been there before, isn't this just right for you? Gufei was like a child who had made a mistake. Yes, we fully considered that your attributes are already very abnormal, and you have the limitless godly demon sword, most immortal martial skills probably can't compare to you, maybe the wildlands will have a better reward. That key can only teleport one person, we really considered your situation seriously, there's absolutely no selfishness. We thought that continuously challenging higher difficulty dungeons is in line with your character. Lu Chen was speechless after hearing this group of people's explanation. What this group of people said was actually very reasonable. You guys really understand me so well, so he didn't get any rewards. However, when he killed the Azura, Lu Chen also got 2 immortal level magic weapons. Thinking about it, it was actually not a loss. Besides, it was much better than missing the time to collect it. The instance dungeon was finally over. However, Lu Chen was very interested in how these people managed to kill 108 inner demons in such a short time. Hey, how did you guys kill 108 inner demons in such a short time? I feel that this mission is too difficult to complete. Just finding the inner demons that I can see is already very difficult. Moran said, hee, when we saw the system's requirements, we were also in despair. However, we also knew that we had to complete the mission. So, Dongfang Ji thought of a way. Lu Chen looked at Dongfang Ji in surprise. What can this sharp-tongued boss think of? After killing the first round of inner demons, we realized that it wasn't that difficult to kill inner demons. The difficult part was finding the corresponding inner demon. Then, Dongfang Ji said, actually, some people think too highly of themselves. It's not easy to deal with inner demons if you can't find one, so you get others to help you find one. Lu Chen was shocked. This was equivalent to asking others to point out the other party's shortcomings. For a poisonous snake like Dongfang Ji, 108 inner demons were already too few, you're quite something. Lu Chen exclaimed. Dongfang Ji, you're really a talent. Dongfang Ji also helped you think of many inner demons. For example, you're actually very coquettish, too selfish, ruthless, and heartless. Lu Chen turned to look at Dongfang Ji. You have quite a big opinion of me, kid. I'm just telling the truth. How am I coquettish? So many girls like you, but you just won't say who you like. If this isn't coquettish, then what is? Since when did a girl like me? Alright, then I was wrong. You're not coquettish, you're blind. The two of them looked like they were about to start fighting. Moran hurriedly pulled them back. Alright, alright. Both of you are injured, but you two can still fight. I really have to hand it to you two. Let them fight. I reckon that this is the only time we have a chance to agree to Lone Tyrant's request. Let's attack together and let him taste the taste of defeat. The group was also in a good mood. They even had the mood to play around in the dungeon. Actually, this trip to the Azura world has allowed us to better understand our own inner demons. I feel that just this point alone is a great gain for us. Alright, are you guys all children? We should go. Lu Qin changed back into his human skin and used the whirlpool key. The group returned to Lu Chen's residence from Azura world. Aren't you going to move into the inner mountains and live with us? The inner mountains are close to the spirit source. Every time you cultivate, you can gain quite a bit of pure spirit energy, Gufei said. Lu Chen had the mixed divine demon cultivation method, so he naturally didn't care for that little bit of pure spirit energy. We'll talk about it when the time comes. After parting with Gufei and the others, Lu Chen returned to his room to rest. After the battle with Azura, Lu Chen felt that the Jiutian was full of experts. Previously, the demonic Grim Reaper made him feel fear. However, Azura made him feel the power of a god. After all, this was only Azura's remnant soul. Perhaps in the near future, he would encounter the true body of a god. How terrifying would that be? I have to increase my star rank as soon as possible. Once my basic attributes are high, be it the 6 transformations or the Void Shatterer, my damage will increase. Also, I have to cultivate the mixed divine demon cultivation method to the 2nd stage as soon as possible. Right, I don't know where the other 3 transformations of the 9 transformations of the divine demon are. I don't have any clues at all. Also, I have no clue where to find the divine demon set. After winning, Lu Chen didn't relax. Instead, he felt even more urgent. Speaking of which, he had obtained a lot of 3rd-class advancement materials from killing Azura. However, considering that the reputation shop would sell them at a low price and buy them at a high price, unless it was absolutely necessary, Lu Chen didn't plan on selling them. After checking his backpack, apart from the materials, Lu Chen had an additional whirlpool key. I have 2 more keys now. Lu Chen shook his head. I don't think anyone will be like me, getting an additional key every time I enter a whirlpool. If I don't bring teammates, the whirlpool should be very safe for me. Of course, Lu Chen didn't forget to check the 2 new immortal artifacts that he had obtained. Relic of Reincarnation, Immortal Artifact, Extractable. I wonder how many extractable scrolls are needed to extract an item of this level. The Relic of Reincarnation increased the 3rd dimension by 12,000 points and spiritual energy by 4,000 points. Its attributes could only be considered average among immortal artifacts. Special Effect 1, Delayed Effect. All damage received within 10 seconds will explode in one go after 10 seconds. This damage will be treated as 1 damage, and a minimum of 1 HP will be retained. During the 10-second damage accumulation period, it will not be affected by control skills. Another life-saving skill. This is quite useful. It has 10 seconds of magic immunity. Special Effect 2, Chant of All Buddhas. Every 3 seconds, the enemy will be forcefully pulled to the side and unable to break free for 2 seconds. This was an effect of the Chant of All Buddhas barrier, but now it had become an equipment special effect that was automatically released. Special Effect 3, Buddha Body Transformation. 3 heads and 6 faces. It can be divided into 3 physical clones. The main body can freely switch between the 3 physical clones. Not bad. However, it should be because it can be extracted that it's listed as an immortal artifact. Otherwise, these attributes wouldn't be too outstanding. The attributes of the heavenly eye were much stronger. The 3rd dimension was 15,000 and spiritual energy was 6,000. 2 of the special effects were the upgraded version of the dark golden eye. Not only could it predict the position of the enemy's skill release, but it could also predict the enemy's movement. No wonder the Shura handprint could keep chasing me. It's because of this thing. Special Effect 2, See-Through Disguises, Virtual Images, Illusions, Void, and Heaven-Level Secret Realms. This is a little strong. It can see through the void whirlpool. Lu Chen was shocked. There's a secret realm? Lu Chen really hadn't encountered a secret realm for a long time. Perhaps it wasn't that there wasn't one, but that he hadn't discovered it. Chapter 599. The only thing Lu Chen didn't eat was magic treasures, so he carried these two pieces of equipment with him. Although the Immortal Peak sect didn't get a place in this competition, Lu Chen's actions made the Immortal Peak sect famous. At this moment, Lone Tyrant's name also started to spread throughout the martial arts conference. However, Lu Chen didn't feel anything different. He seemed to be used to people talking about him. The inner mountain had returned to normal. The outer sect disciples returned to their own residences. Brother Wrist and the others, who hadn't seen for a long time, ran to Lu Chen's house early in the morning to wait for today's daily mission. As soon as Lu Chen went out, he saw a large group of people standing at the door. Seeing Lu Chen come out, the group shouted in unison, "Boss!" Lu Chen frowned at this group of people. Since when did his support group have so many people? "What are you doing?" Brother Wrist walked over with a smile. "Boss, we're waiting for your daily mission. Now that our support group has reached 1,300 people, you can accept 1,300 missions for us every day." Lu Chen looked at Brother Wrist as if he was looking at a monster. Why were they so eager to help others with missions? Without waiting for Lu Chen to speak, Brother Wrist and the others surrounded Lu Chen and went to the mission distribution office. The mission distributor saw Lu Chen from afar and immediately greeted him. "Yes, you're here. I've already prepared the missions for you." Iron Wrist said that he wants 1,320 missions. "They're all ready. You just have to accept them." "This. You don't have to be so enthusiastic, no. This time, you personally took action. Not only did the other sects look at our Immortal Peak sect in a new light, even the outsiders have become respectful of us. I've been in the Immortal Peak sect for so many years, but I've never enjoyed such treatment." "Yeah, so what if he's the champion of the league? He was still killed by our brother Kwang in one punch. Brother Kwang just didn't participate in the competition. If he did, who can fight him? Beast Buddha's strength has far surpassed the previous champion, but he couldn't even last a second in front of Brother Kwang. Brother Kwang, you're our real boss from now on." The group of people's flattery shook the heavens. All right, you guys don't have to be so dramatic. In the future, the Guardian group will not be recruiting members. Every day, after you finish your missions, you will go about your own business, understand? "Yes, Brother Kwang. We will definitely not disturb your cultivation." Lu Chen shook his head and handed over the 1320 missions to Iron Wrist. Then, he ran away from the mission distribution office. This is too much. They want to create a small sect in the Extreme Immortal sect. It's like they're trying to poach Southern Sky. Lu Chen shook his head as he walked towards the inner mountains. Along the way, whenever people saw Lu Chen, they would stop and whisper to each other. "That's Brother Kwang. He's super strong. I saw him. He's the strongest outer disciple in history. It said that he's the man who came out of the whirlpool. It said that someone from the Immortal Army's 8 divisions came to our sect leader's place to snatch people." Lu Chen was being pointed at and gossiped about all the way. He felt uncomfortable all over and hastened his steps. Arriving at the exchange shop, Zhang Xian was just about to enter when he was stopped by an inner disciple. "Senior Kwang." Lu Chen looked back. It seemed to be Southern Sky's new disciple, Nan Ku. "Senior Kwang, I've finally found you." Nan Ku gasped for breath. Are you going to the exchange shop? It's not open yet. There's still some finishing work for the Alliance tournament. Marshal Uncle Tianqing is helping to deal with it. No way. Oh right, why are you looking for me? Senior Kwang, the Immortal Army has sent people over. Master can't hold them off. He wants you to go over. Didn't the Four Seas expedition leave? It's not the great heavenly marshal's people. It's someone else. They all want to see you. The people who came are at least Zhongtian generals. Master is stuck in the middle. It's really hard for him to deal with them. Do you want to go over? Lu Chen frowned slightly. This was probably the reason why he didn't like to be famous. It was too troublesome. Alright, I'll go take a look. Lu Chen followed Nan Ku to the sect master's guest hall. Just as he reached the door, he heard a lot of noise inside. There seemed to be a lot of people. When he pushed the door open, Lu Chen saw more than 20 Immortal Army members. There were people from various races, and there were many who were on the same level as the Zhongtian generals of Pingyun. There were a total of 8 divisions in the Immortal Army. Medical, Dark, Imperial, Assault, Cavalry, Law, Beast, and Archery. At this time, Southern Sky was surrounded in the middle. The Zhongtian generals were all talking at once. Southern Sky, we tried to persuade you in the beginning, but you didn't listen. Now, I'll put it bluntly. Solipsistic must join our Dark Division. I don't have any objections to Solipsistic joining the Immortal Army. However, I don't agree that he must join your Dark Division. Our Archery Division is most afraid of enemy troops getting close to us. Letting Solipsistic join our Archery Division is a more strategic arrangement. As long as he's there, our Archery Division's survival rate will greatly increase. According to what you're saying, letting Solipsistic join the Medical Division and the Law Division is just as strategic, isn't it? Good steel should be used on the edge of the blade, not hidden in the back. Why don't you join our ambush team? Our ambush team is small in number, but it's extremely useful. More often than not, we'll be able to turn the tide of a battle. It's just perfect for Lone Tyrant's explosive attack power. The group started arguing again. At this time, Lu Chen spoke. I'm not going anywhere right now. I'll stay at Apex Immortal Sect. Everyone turned to look at the youth at the door. You're solipsistic? Lu Chen nodded. That's right. Great Celestial General Yuanzheng said to let me make the decision. But you guys came to pressure Apex Immortal Sect. The Dark Division's Zhongtian General, Hidden Blade, walked over and sized up Lu Chen. You're really arrogant. How dare you talk to us like that? Solipsistic, it's not that we want to go against the Great Celestial General's wishes. The Great Celestial General wants you to grow for a while more, but what better place to train someone than the Immortal Army? With your strength, you're already qualified to join the Immortal Army. Why waste your time here? That's my business. Zhongtian General, you don't have to worry about it. Lu Chen didn't give the other party any face. Solipsistic, do you know that all sects serve the Immortal Army? Everyone has to join the Immortal Army as long as they're strong enough. Another half-beast said in an unfriendly tone. We're here to invite you because we value your strength. But if you're arrogant because of this, we can also use the Immortal Army's military rules and take you away by force. Lu Chen had a fiery temper. If others asked him nicely for help, he might help. But if they used force, Lu Chen wouldn't compromise. Even immortal sovereigns Najuras couldn't change his mind, let alone the Immortal Army. Lu Chen snorted. Military rules. Am I a member of your Immortal Army? You're talking about military rules with me? Solipsistic, don't be ungrateful. If not for our Immortal Army, do you think you can cultivate here like a prince? Sorry, even if there's no allied army, I'll still go wherever I want to go. Lu Chen didn't back down. You. Fine, don't think that just because the great celestial general values you, you can be so lawless. Let me tell you, the immortal army isn't ruled by anyone. Even the great celestial general has to discuss with the other celestial generals. Now that the 8 divisions are here, you can't deal with your bro. Men, take this person down. The group of immortal army soldiers behind him looked at Lu Chen and didn't dare to make a move. Nantian saw that the immortal army's tone was unfriendly and the atmosphere was tense. He hurriedly pulled Lu Chen back. Brother, don't be agitated. I'll talk to them again. Lu Chen's temper flared up. Nantian, there's no need to talk to them. I'm not going to the immortal army. Don't tell me you want to become enemies with your own race. Nantian said anxiously. If I knew this would happen, I wouldn't have asked you to come. Don't talk nonsense. Openly defying the immortal army. Take this person down. The Orc Celestial General thought for a while and added, if he dares to resist, the immortal Apex sect will be punished as well. Wow, this Celestial General is really something. Lu Chen stared at that person. Chapter 600. Lu Chen did not expect that a trip to the exchange shop would result in him being placed in a prison carriage. He was not afraid of the immortal army, but the extreme immortal sect was different. This was Nan Tian's painstaking effort, and there were many people he knew here. If he really wanted to make a move, unless he destroyed the immortal army, there would be endless trouble. In the end, Lu Chen chose to be arrested. Seeing Nan Tian's helpless appearance, Lu Chen smiled at him, it's fine, they won't do anything to me. After saying that, Lu Chen leaned close to Nan Tian's ear and whispered, at most, I will pretend to join them. This sentence gave Nan Tian a reassurance. Although the immortal army was tyrannical, in the end, it was only to force Lu Chen to join the immortal army. There should not be any danger to his life. I will go look for great heavenly general Yuan Zheng. Nan Tian said. Lu Chen nodded. Soon, Lu Chen was placed in a prison carriage. His prison carriage was fixed on the back of a huge flying dragon. There was a special array on the prison carriage that restricted the skills of the prisoners inside. Not long after, Lu Chen left with the 8th Division Immortal Army. Damn it, when can I go exchange for cash? Lu Chen sat in the prison carriage, shaking his head and sighing. When Gu Fei and the others arrived at the reception hall, Lu Chen and the others had already left. What, the immortal army actually took Du Kuang away by force? Nan Tian shook his head, I also had no way to stop them. After all, the sect is a subordinate of the immortal army. At that time, they said that if Solipsistic dared to resist, they would punish the extreme immortal sect, so he left with them. This is too much. Actually, when people reach a certain level of strength, they would fight to join the immortal army. This also gave the immortal army a sense of superiority. This time, when they met Brother Du Kuang, they found it hard to accept and took him away by force. Nan Tian said, and the few of you, the immortal army gave you a time limit. You must report to the immortal army within a year. Brother Du Kuang didn't say that he wouldn't join the immortal army. Is there a need for them to be so anxious? Mo Ran shook her head. Sect Master, what should we do now? The reason why I called you all here is so that you all can go and find great heavenly general Yuanzheng. I'm afraid that with old brother Du Kuang's bad temper, he won't be willing to compromise even after arriving at the immortal army. Only great heavenly general can handle this matter. Alright, let's go right away. Following the immortal army, Lu Chen saw a huge fortress from afar. The fortress was located between 2 tall mountains. There were 4 entrances at the back and a thick black defensive wall in front of it. It was said that the wall was made of black iron and was indestructible. This was the southern division of the immortal army, the Black Mystic Fortress. After returning to the fortress, the heavenly general of the 8 tribes looked at Lu Chen. Solipsistic, as long as you agree to join the immortal army, we will immediately release you and entrust you with important tasks. Lu Qin leaned against the prison wagon with an indifferent expression. It's quite comfortable here. I don't want to come out. You are simply stubborn. Fine, you like to stay here, right? Men, lock this person in the death cell. I'll give you 7 days to think carefully. If you are still unwilling to compromise and not willing to be used by me, it's useless to keep you alive. Lu Qin was sent underground by a group of immortal soldiers. After going down 3 levels, he was pushed into a pitch-black prison. The array around the prison was very strong. It was actually a heaven-grade mountain protecting array. After all, this was the prison of the immortal army. Who knew how many experts would be locked up here? If the array was not strong, it would not be able to control them at all. Lu Qin shook his head and found a corner to sit down. I already said that I can't be too famous. I'm too unlucky. I suddenly became a prisoner. Human race. In the darkness, a voice suddenly sounded, giving Lu Qin a fright. Fuck, who is it? Looking carefully, Lu Qin saw a monster in ragged clothes sitting in front of him. Heavenly devil race? Heavenly devil? How can those things with impure bloodlines be mentioned in the same breath as us demons? Kid, are you insulting me? The clanking sound of chains came from the opposite side. The other party seemed to be very angry. Fortunately, he was chained up. Otherwise, that fellow would probably have charged over. Don't get agitated. I don't even know you. How would I know what race you are? Lu Qin leaned against the wall and said leisurely. Speaking of which, you're a demon. I've never heard of this race. How old are you? Of course you've never heard of the great name of the demon race. We are the purest demon race. We are born with demonic might. Actually, lowly creatures like you humans can't compare to us. Lu Qin said disdainfully. You're so strong. Aren't you still locked up here? If it weren't for the fact that I was injured, how could the Four Seas expedition capture me? Even so, the Four Seas expedition probably isn't any better. I don't know where he's recuperating now. Lu Qin looked at the black figure in front of him in astonishment. The Four Seas expedition was injured during a battle with this fellow? He was right. The Four Seas expedition was still unable to fully recover. It could be seen that his injuries were not light. Wait until my injuries are healed. I'll raise this place to the ground. Lu Qin frowned as he looked at that fellow. His tone was really arrogant. Looking at his injuries, and without any pills, he didn't know when he would be able to fully recover. Speaking of which, Lu Qin didn't have any enmity towards this fellow. Perhaps it was because he also had demonic might and could be considered half a demon. Hey, why didn't I meet you demons in the third heaven? Lu Qin asked. Third heaven? Are you kidding? We demons directly entered the Jiutian from the fourth heaven. Only low-level races like you humans need to slowly climb up from the first heaven. Damn, that's a little too much. Directly starting from the fourth heaven? Then are you very strong in reality? Of course. The demon prisoner's tone was filled with unconcealable pride. Any one of us demons is a destructive existence in your eyes. Then why did you enter the Jiutian? You don't even know why you entered the Jiutian. Only by entering the Jiutian can we protect our world. No matter how strong the demons are, they can't compete with the Jiutian. Lu Qin narrowed his eyes slightly. Even a powerful race like the demons had to be controlled by the Jiutian. Could it be that their goal was only to protect their own world? If that was the case, what was the difference between them and him? If you want to protect your world, why are you making an enemy of our allies? What a joke. In the Jiutian, it's either you die or I die. What's the reason? Kid, is there something wrong with your brain? Listening to your questions, you don't seem like a traitor. Lu Qin smiled. You're the one who's crazy. They wanted me to join the immortal army, but I didn't agree. That's why I was locked up. You see, you have chains, but I don't. This isn't your brain being crazy. Everyone would join the immortal army of their own race, but you didn't. Lu Chen was a little speechless. However, chatting with this guy allowed Lu Chen to grasp a few important pieces of information. First, this guy was related to the Four Seas expedition. Whether there was something fishy about the Four Seas expedition, it was very likely that he could get some information from this guy. Second, the truly powerful races in the Jiutian were not those he had seen before. On the contrary, the truly powerful races were those he had never seen before. Chapter 601. At night, the Devil Brother was captured and tortured. When he came back, his body was covered with bruises. This guy was also a tough nut to crack. The guards didn't get any useful information from him. They beat you every day. The Devil Brother spat out a mouthful of blood. They were afraid that I would recover. Those bastards learned some torture skills. Even if they didn't kill me, they wouldn't let me recover. Lu Chen didn't know why, but he actually sympathized with this guy. No matter what race he was, being able to remain silent under such torture was worthy of respect. The only difference between them was that they had different standpoints. At dinner, Lu Chen's food was obviously better than that guy's. There was fish and meat. The Devil Brother was holding a cold steamed bun. It was probably made by a level 1 cooking skill. He ate happily. While no one was around, Lu Chen pushed his bowl over. Hey, you still have to be beaten tomorrow. Eat mine. The Devil Brother looked at Lu Chen in surprise. He then looked at the fish in the bowl. Without saying anything, he picked it up and ate it. At night, a Zhongtian general came to confirm Lu Chen's situation again. Lu Chen ignored him and drove him away. After the immortal army people left, the Devil Brother looked at Lu Chen strangely. Why didn't you want to join the immortal army? Lu Chen leaned against the wall and played with a piece of withered grass. I didn't say that I didn't want to join. But they forced me to join the immortal army immediately. They even threatened my sect. That made me unhappy. Actually, I don't really care if I join the immortal army or not. I just want to gain more experience and then go to the 5th layer of heaven. Kid, the 3rd layer of heaven is a chaotic battle between different races, but it's all self-organized. The 4th layer of heaven is a militarized battle. The 4th layer of heaven is the most important and the most scarce resources are all in the hands of the immortal army. If you don't join the immortal army, your growth will be slower than others. These are the rules of Jiutian. Why do you have to suffer in prison for such a trivial matter? Lu Chen smiled faintly. Who set the rules? Why should I live according to the rules set by others? In my opinion, there is no true victor in the struggle between the various races. Why should I participate in such a meaningless war? The Devil Brother looked at Lu Chen with a pair of purple eyes. The way he looked at Lu Chen was getting weirder and weirder. You are interesting. I like you. What are you doing? You want to eat me? Don't talk nonsense. I'm talking about your temper. I really like it. If there's a chance to go out, I'll take you to the demon world to play. Lu Chen laughed. Can the game really reverse time travel to reality? Yes, but that's a matter for the higher heaven realm. Then forget it. They won't let you leave alive. Tisk, don't worry, I have a way to get out. When the time comes, I'll take you with me. No way. Aren't you afraid that I'll tell on you if you tell me this? What's there to be afraid of? At most, we'll just die. When I assassinated the Four Seas expedition, I didn't plan to return alive. Moreover, I believe in my eyes. I can feel a sense of familiarity from you. It's also very strange. Why would a human feel like we're from the same race? This demon brother was quite straightforward. Lu Chen wondered if he should tell this important information to the immortal army. Their criminal actually had a way to escape. No matter what, he was still a human. Moreover, this guy was the Four Seas Expedition's criminal. Hey, human kid. When the time comes, I'll set you free. It doesn't matter whether you join the immortal army or not. People change. Today, I find you pleasing to the eye. Perhaps in the future, you'll become a formidable opponent. But why should I care so much? In the future, if we don't meet on the battlefield, I don't care whether you're a human or not. We'll drink to our heart's content. If we meet on the battlefield, we'll fight to our heart's content. We'll fight to our deaths. This was the first time Lu Chen met such a straightforward person. This demon brother was really a demon. That's right. Who ordered you to assassinate the Four Seas Expedition? I can't tell you. Kid, if you want to know more about these things, then I'll pretend I didn't say anything. I'll just treat you as someone sent by them to gather information. Lu Chen nodded. This guy was straightforward, but he wasn't brainless. Take him away. The reason why he dared to do so was probably because he was fully confident in his own strength. After thinking about it, Lu Chen decided to help this demon brother keep the secret and escape first. This demon brother didn't have much time left. He would be executed in public in about 4 or 5 days. Until the last day, Lu Chen actually didn't know how he would escape. On the last night before his execution, Lu Chen was leaning against the wall and sleeping. Suddenly, he heard a crack. Kid, stop sleeping. Let's go. Lu Chen slowly woke up. Ah, where are your shackles? How do we leave? The demon brother waved his hand and 2 little demons appeared in his palm. The little demons transformed into him and Lu Chen and leaned against the wall. My servants have already dug the tunnel. Follow me. Lu Chen widened his eyes and became nervous. He was about to escape from prison. This was the first time in his life that he had done something so exciting. Under the weeds under the demon brother, there was a secret tunnel. The demon brother took the lead and went in. Lu Chen followed closely behind. The tunnel was more spacious than expected. Although there was a strange smell, it was still tolerable. Lu Chen touched the demon brother's hind paw. The 2 crawled forward one after the other. Kid, follow me. The demon servants will bury the places we've walked. How much farther? 2 or 3 kilometers. Don't use any skills. Otherwise, you'll be detected by the spiritual energy detection array. Crawl barehanded. Oh. Half an hour later, Lu Chen felt the air in front of him flowing into the tunnel. Not long after, the demon brother said, "We'll be there soon." It was not easy to get out of the tunnel. At this time, the 2 were in a forest. It's not safe here. Follow me. Lu Chen followed the demon brother and quickly left the forest. The sky was getting dark. Lu Chen did not know where he was now. Anyway, he had been following the demon brother. After walking for a long time, the demon brother finally stopped and looked back at Lu Chen. We've escaped. Kid, we have to separate here. If we go further, we'll reach the demon territory. It's very dangerous for you. Lu Chen nodded. The demon brother took out a map and handed it to Lu Chen. This is the map of the battlefield. Don't be stupid and run into other people's territory. Lu Chen took the map with a smile and synchronized it to his personal map. On the map, Lu Chen could see a 9-star pattern. Each of them marked the area controlled by the Alliance. Currently, they were in a lawless area. Thank you for the food these few days. If fate wills it, we'll meet again. Oh, right. What's your name? I'm Flame Demon. Solipsistic. Solipsistic. Quite narcissistic. Okay, I'll remember it. See you. However, at this time, from the demon territory, there were several voices. Enemy. A loud bugle call broke the silence of the dawn. Chapter 602. Hundreds of demon soldiers quickly surrounded Lu Chen and the Balrog. "We're on the same side," the Balrog explained loudly. "You're the Balrog?" "That's me." "Men, tie up that human captive." Lu Chen almost broke down. It had not been easy for him to escape from the human prison, but now he was captured by the demons. What kind of luck was this? "Don't, he's. The Balrog stood in front of Lu Chen. He wanted to say that Lu Chen was his friend, but he realized that it would be even harder to explain if he admitted it now. "That's not a captive." "Balrog." The leading heavenly captain frowned. "You assassinated the great heavenly general of the human race. That's indeed an amazing thing. That's why you should be clear about your position. That guy is a human, so there's no reason to let him go. Are you going to disobey orders?" The Balrog looked troubled. He was different from Lu Chen. He was in the immortal army, and military orders were like mountains. How could he disobey? This. "Sigh, let him go. He gave me his food in the human prison. That's why I had enough strength to escape. Maybe he just wanted to get close to you. Besides, since he's a human, he must know some information about the human race. Balrog, if you're a demon soldier, obey orders and tie him up yourself." The Balrog looked pained. "No, I can't betray my friend. Those who aren't of our race must have ulterior motives. Balrog, obey orders. Any negligence can lead to misfortune for the world behind us. If you don't obey orders, you'll be dealt with according to military law." Just as the Balrog was in a dilemma, Lu Chen suddenly spoke. "Brother Balrog, just do it." The Balrog's eyes darted around. He suddenly turned around and grabbed Lu Chen's hands. "Then don't blame me for being impolite. Come, follow us back to the demon fortress." When the Balrog grabbed Lu Chen's hands, Lu Chen felt the Balrog secretly stuff something into his hands. Demon servant token. The flame devil whispered, "Don't resist for now. There are definitely many immortal demon army nearby. You won't be able to deal with them. Old brother Du Quan, I will definitely save you." Lu Chen did not resist and was once again taken to the dungeon. "I'm really speechless. I'm locked up again." Lu Chen leaned against the wall of the dungeon. Now, he was also shackled. Before, there was no danger to his life in the human race, but now, it was hard to say. Should he force his way in? The demon race's array formation seemed to be even more powerful than the human race's. Lu Chen wasn't sure if he could break out of it. Opening his palm, Lu Chen saw the token that the flame demon had given him. Demon servant order. Forget it, digging a tunnel is more reliable. Use the demon servant token. 5 little demons jumped out and stood neatly in front of Lu Chen. Dig a tunnel and hide it well. Don't let anyone find out. The 5 little demons didn't know how to speak. They immediately drilled into the ground and disappeared. That's quite impressive. Lu Chen nodded in satisfaction. That night, Lu Chen enjoyed the hospitality of a level 1 cooking master. The guard threw in some unknown food that looked as hard as stone. Lu Chen had no appetite at all. Later, a few guards came to interrogate Lu Chen. Coming to a room, Lu Chen saw the situation around him and couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. The bloodstains on the ground had not been cleaned up. A few demon race immortal soldiers were dragging a criminal of unknown race all the way back to his cell. That guy was covered in blood and had already lost consciousness. To be honest, Lu Chen had seen torture on TV before. Just thinking about it made him feel terrified. Now, he was actually going to experience it for himself. The demon race had a fierce appearance. The torches on the wall made the faces of the executioners even more distorted, like ghosts from hell. They were tidying up a pile of execution tools. Fire tongs, props, steel wires. They were carefully wiping the bloodstains on the cloth, looking abnormally serious. No, if they tortured him, Lu Chen would definitely take action. You are the human that the flame demon brought back. Lu Chen looked coldly at the person who asked the question. That's right. Why did you get close to the flame demon? I was locked in the same cell. Because you refused to join the human race immortal army? The other person seemed to know something. He should have heard it from the flame demon. Yes. At this time, the executioner had also finished tidying up the tools. He sat in front of Lu Chen and sized up Lu Chen formally. The higher-up said that you are not to be tortured for the time being. It should be the flame demon's power that is protecting you. Solipsistic, right? The flame demon doesn't know your identity, but I do. You killed the champion of the human race tournament in an instant. You can be considered to have some personal strength. Lu Chen sneered. Your investigation is quite thorough. Of course, we can't just listen to the flame demon's side of the story. Naturally, we have to investigate you thoroughly. What you told the Balrog is basically the truth as well. However, you are also unlucky. A few days ago, we suffered a defeat at the hands of the Four Seas expedition and lost thousands of people. We also failed to assassinate the Four Seas expedition. At this time, the demon race has a deep hatred for the human race. At this time, we need to inspire the confidence of our people. As for you, it is impossible to let you go. That would be letting a tiger return to the mountain. It just so happens that you have been recognized by the Four Seas expedition. If you are executed in public, not only will it be a blow to the human race's confidence, it will also boost the morale of the demon race. Lu Chen narrowed his eyes. I saved your hero, and this is how you treat me. Well, I can only say thank you to you, and then. I am sorry. So, you want to execute me in public? Yes. Not mistreat me. I see that the human race has to beat up the flame demon every day. Lu Chen was speechless. They didn't even give him time to dig a tunnel. Ha ha ha, you saved the flame demon, so we won't mistreat you. During the execution, we will definitely find an expert to kill you in one blow and not let you feel any pain. Damn, then, thank you. Tomorrow, we will invite the best cooking master to treat you to your last meal. The execution will be at 8 a.m. Oh right, you don't have to think about escaping. Your shackles are special and conceal your spirit core. No matter what level of cultivation technique you have, if you can't use the spirit core's spirit energy, it will be useless. Alright, go back and have a good rest. Lu Chen was pushed back. Looking at the shackles on his hands, he tried to use his cultivation technique, but it was useless. Little furball. A little mouse jumped onto Lu Chen's wrist. Can I eat it? Little furball sniffed the shackles and nodded at Lu Chen. As expected, there was nothing in this world that little furball couldn't eat. Once the shackles were removed, Lu Chen was confident that he could escape unscathed. The defensive array around the prison was a bit troublesome. The best time was to escape when he was brought to the execution tomorrow. If that's the case, then you have to rest well today. There might be a fierce battle tomorrow. Chapter 603. The next morning, there was a commotion outside his cell. Lu Chen opened his eyes and saw a large group of demon soldiers walking towards his cell. He was about to be executed. Sure enough, someone opened the cell door and escorted Lu Chen out. Let's go. Lu Chen was surrounded by a group of people and escorted out of the dungeon. The square outside was already filled with people. Are we going to execute Solipsistic today? I heard that guy is very famous among the humans. He seems to have some strength. Didn't the Four Seas expedition think highly of him? For C's expedition. He's the one who made us suffer defeat after defeat. Kill Solipsistic. This was the first time Lu Chen had experienced such a scene. It was much more realistic than watching an execution on TV. He checked his condition. He was currently in his best condition. The little furball was currently hiding under Lu Chen's sleeve, ready to eat at any time. Lu Chen was first escorted to the side of the square. There was good wine and good food, and a commander was sitting there. Solipsistic, good wine and good food have been prepared for you. After this meal, you can go on your way. Can the shackles be opened? It's so awkward to eat like this. The commander smiled. What are you thinking? Of course I'm going to wear it and eat. Then I refuse. The commander poured himself a cup of wine and took a sip. Are you sure you don't want to eat? I'm not eating. Lu Chen was afraid that the furball in his sleeve would be discovered. Hurry up. Heh, I've never seen someone in a hurry for this kind of thing. The commander smiled. Don't worry. Our goal is not to kill you. We just want to raise the morale. With that, the commander put down his cup and flashed onto the execution platform. Everyone knows who we're going to execute. This person was wanted by the entire server when he was at the third layer of heaven. No race could catch him. He fought against 60 top experts from the 12 great sects alone. In the Human Alliance competitive competition, he defeated the champion of this year, which made him famous among all the clans of the Human Alliance. He was known as the strongest human in this competition. It only took him a year and a half to get out of the Whirlpool world. This person is highly regarded by the 4 Seas expedition and was given the Great Heavenly General Medallion. He was even fought over by the 8 divisions of the human race's immortal army in advance, which is unprecedented. Lu Chen listened from the side. Why did he feel that he was quite impressive when that guy listed his achievements? However, he was caught by us. And this was indeed the main point. The more powerful he was, the more powerful the demon clan that could capture him would be. Today, we are going to execute Solipsistic right here and now. We are going to make the 4 Seas expedition suffer a great loss of talents and human beings suffer a great loss. We have been defeated time and time again by the Human Race Alliance, but we must let them know that we demons will never take a step back. Those who make an enemy out of the demon race have no way out. The blood of our enemies will pave our path forward, and our will and determination will be the impenetrable defense of our homeland. We will be unstoppable and become the sole overlord of the 4th heaven. Thunderous cheers erupted from below the stage. Lu Chen did not expect that his death would be so significant. Bring him up. This time, I will personally execute him. Lu Chen was escorted to the execution platform. The Heaven General pulled out a special tiger-headed saber from the side. Needless to say, it was definitely a weapon with special effects for physical attacks. Sigh, helping a demon only to send him to the guillotine. Lu Chen was also depressed. The Heaven General of the demon race was creating the atmosphere. Like a DJ, he waved the tiger-headed saber and walked up and down the stage, asking the audience to interact with him. Just as he said, their goal was not to kill Lu Chen, but to raise morale. Naturally, they could not do without these ceremonies. At this moment, little Furball was already quietly gnawing on the shackles on Lu Chen's wrists. Once they were unlocked, it would be time for Lu Chen to explode. Kill him. Show our demon might. Let the 4 Seas expedition know our prowess. Kill. Lu Chen whispered, little Furball, hurry up. With a crack, Lu Chen felt the shackles on his wrists loosen. Very good, it's settled. The Heaven General of the demon race stood behind Lu Chen again. He raised the tiger-headed saber high and roared, kill. However, just as Lu Chen was about to explode, a black fog suddenly shot toward Lu Chen from afar. In an instant, Lu Chen was swept up by the black fog and fell to the side. The black fog gradually condensed into a solid body. Lu Chen focused and saw that it was Balrog. Balrog, what are you doing? Frenzied blade, you can't kill him. Balrog stood in front of Lu Chen. I have already told you countless times. He is my friend. No one can touch him. There was an uproar below the stage. Isn't that Balrog who just made a first-class contribution? What is he doing? How can he be friends with a human? Balrog, do you know what you are saying? How can a human be our friend? Balrog, you are violating military rules. Are you betraying the demon race? But the Balrog refused to move even half a step. He turned around and looked at the stupefied Lu Chen. Brother, I'm sorry. I've wronged you. But don't worry. Even if I have to risk my life, I will protect you. Balrog looked below the stage. You only know that the 8 divisions of the human race's immortal army recruited Solipsistic, but did you know that he did not agree to any of them? He is not a member of the human race's immortal army at all. He is a big shot of the human race. He gave me some of his food so that I could recover some of my strength. If not for him, I would not have been able to escape. He said that he did not want to invade other worlds. We even agreed that if there was a chance in the future, he would come to our demon world to play. He said that he did not want to listen to fate. He wanted to do what he thought was right. Perhaps we are unable to defy the will of the Jyotian. Fate has forced us to become enemies, but that is not now. General Zhongtian narrowed his eyes at Balrog. Balrog, don't think that you can do whatever you want just because you have military achievements. He is a human. Whether he is an immortal army soldier or not, nothing can change this fact. You also said that you may become enemies in the future. We cannot let such a person live. If you stop me from carrying out the punishment again, don't blame me for treating you as a traitor. Balrog smiled. Traitor? I am willing to risk my life to protect my home, but I am not willing to do things that go against my conscience. He is a friend that I, Balrog, have acknowledged. Since I guarantee his safety, I will protect him with my life. If I bear the name of a traitor, I, Balrog, will have no regrets. Balrog, you are a traitor. I only want to be like Solipsistic and be myself. Fine. Since you won't listen to my advice, don't blame me. Men, kill this traitor. Balrog immediately drew 2 black scimitars. He took a step back and approached Lu Chen. Kid, if you have the chance, run. Don't worry about me. Old brother Balrog, your injuries have not fully recovered. Since I am here, I have no intention of going back alive. Old brother Kwang, although we have only spent a few days together in prison, you have made me look at you in a different light. What a good, I only want to be myself. Although it is only a sentence, how many people can do it? But there is one thing that you must promise me. If one day you join the human immortal army, don't make things difficult for us demons. Lu Chen was stunned. Chapter 604. 9 heavens, 1 heavens, 1 heavens. They had only reached the 4th heavens, but it was already a chaotic war between the 9 races. Human lives were like grass. Was this still a game? At least, it was no longer an online game in the traditional sense. In this flood, they could still meet someone like the Flame Demon. They stood on different sides, but they became friends who would die for their friend. Kill the traitor. A large number of immortal soldiers surged up from below the stage, and a large number of skills were thrown at the Flame Demon. To be able to ambush the 4 Seas expedition and cause serious damage to him, the Flame Demon was definitely strong enough. It was just that in the battle with the 4 Seas expedition, he was also seriously injured, which was why he was captured by the human race. He was also tortured for a long time in prison. From the day he escaped from the prison until now, he had only rested for a day. Right now, the Flame Demon was in a very bad state, but he couldn't care so much. He carried Lu Chen on his back. "Let's go, brother, I will bring you out." A steel puppet blocked in front of the flame demon. Its abdomen opened, and a series of hidden weapons shot out. The flame demon took out the flame shield and directly charged forward. In front of him were countless swords, battle pets, puppets, weapons, and talismans. The flame demon dodged. "Want to run?" Demon realm barrier. Countless ghostly hands reached out from the ground. As soon as they touched the ground, they would be caught. Lava path. The flame demon stepped on fire and charged into the demon realm barrier. Extreme frost barrier. Give me ice pillar. Holy demon slash. Lock on and shoot. Target mark, ask the heaven's arrow. Countless skills were thrown over. Coupled with a large number of barriers, even someone as strong as the flame demon was instantly heavily injured and found it difficult to move. "Brother flame demon, put me down." "No, I said I will bring you out, so I will send you out. Don't force me." Clone. In the end, everyone immediately found the flame demon's true body. Because only this true body was carrying Lu Chen on his back. However, what surprised Lu Chen was that the flame demon didn't rely on clones to disrupt the enemy's judgment. 80 clones were evenly distributed around the flame demon, preparing to use a skill at the same time. The demon general exclaimed, "Everyone, be careful, it's the demon sky soul scorching formation. Quickly kill the clones, don't let them set up the formation." The defense of these clones was very strong. Lu Chen estimated that it should have surpassed the defense of the main body. However, these clones didn't know how to dodge. They should be clones that were specifically used to set up the array formation. Even though the doppelganger's defense was amazing, it was still besieged by thousands of immortal soldiers. Half of the doppelganger was instantly destroyed. The flame devil forcefully activated the demonic heavenly soul incinerating array. In an instant, the entire array fiercely spewed out blazing flames from the ground, shooting straight into the sky. "Don't touch those flames, they will burn your body directly." Roasting the body directly? Lu Chen was astonished. This demonic sky soul scorching array could be forcefully activated in such a short period of time while being besieged by nearly 10,000 people. Furthermore, its power was astonishing. Even the Heaven Censure General was apprehensive of it. The flame devil's strength was evident from this. At this moment, the flame demon suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood. His blood was green, but Lu Chen could feel that the flame demon was trembling all over. When heavily injured, the greatest taboo was to engage in a major battle, and at this moment, the flame devil was facing the encirclement of nearly 10,000 demon immortal soldiers. Poof! The flame demon knelt on one knee, his body trembling violently. However, he still forced himself to stand up and walked toward the fortress gate. Inside the demonic heavenly soul incinerating array, the ghostly hands on the ground didn't dare to appear. However, the flame demon's footsteps became heavier and heavier. A few techniques that passed through the demonic heavenly soul incinerating array could no longer be dodged and directly smashed into his body. He spat out several mouthfuls of blood. Other than maintaining the demonic heavenly soul incinerating array, the flame demon was powerless to counterattack. His eyes stared straight ahead. "I'll send you out. I'll definitely send you out. When you get out, don't avenge me." Lu Chen was silent. He actually blamed the flame demon in his heart. If the flame demon hadn't secretly said that he would guarantee his safety, he wouldn't have been captured at all. He even suspected that the flame demon had deliberately set a trap for him. Lu Chen's hands were already free, but he hadn't made a move until now because of this reason. However, Lu Chen believed that the flame demon treated him as a brother. He couldn't influence the immortal army's decision, so he put his life on the line to fulfill his promise to his friend. "Brother flame demon, stop." "No, I can't stop. I'm afraid that if I stop, I won't be able to walk anymore. One more thing, Go back and tell the Four Seas expedition that I'm sorry I won't have the chance to fight with him again. 3 consecutive arrows pierced the flame demon's calf. The flame demon's body swayed, but he tried his best to prevent himself from falling and continued to walk forward. When will the war between the human race and the demon race end? I'm a little homesick. As long as the Jiutian doesn't end, the war will never end. Lu Chen sighed. You can do the other things yourself, but I promise you that I'll stop all of this. Lu Chen patted the flame demon's shoulder. Sorry, I didn't completely trust you and watched you get seriously injured. The flame demon looked at Lu Chen's hand in surprise. The shackles on it had fallen off at some point. Where are your shackles? That thing can't trap me. Lu Chen jumped off the flame demon's back and circled around to the front, carrying his tall body on his back. Don't worry, I won't destroy your race's body. It's just that if we want to break out of this encirclement, we have to make them die in the game. Lu Chen said. Now, let me bring you out. Place of death. Dragon blood boil. 6 divine transformations. Unlimited bestowal liberation. Lu Chen carried the flame demon on his back and shuttled through the demon race's immortal army. Seeing this, the surrounding immortal army revealed a look of disbelief. How is this possible, that human broke free from his shackles? His attacks are so fast. It's hard to lock onto his body. Unlimited skills. If this continues, he's going to run. Quickly use the demonic sky shadow lock array. Lu Chen could already feel that the flame demon on his back had a weak aura. Its head drooped on his shoulder and was on the verge of death. Seeing that the immortal army was still trying their best to stop him, Lu Chen was burning with anger, his eyes turning green. Get out of my way. If anything happens to the flame demon, I will remove your demon race from the Jiutian. Shatter the void. With one punch, he shattered countless enchantments and directly smashed a hole in the demonic sky mountain protection array. Triple door. Lu Chen quickly darted out of the hole. Looking back, he saw that there was still a large group of immortal army chasing after him. Mighty Ravager sweep. Lu Chen turned and swept out hundreds of sword chi to stop the pursuers. 9 wings. Summoning his mount, Lu Chen jumped onto the back of the 9-winged dragon and soared into the sky. Once the 9 wings appeared, the mounts of the immortal army instantly withered, leaving only 4 or 5 mounts able to fly. At level 4, the deterrence of the 9 wings was no longer effective against all mounts. Those 4 or 5 people still planned to give chase, but the demon race's Zhongtian general suddenly flashed in front of them and waved his hand. Don't chase, the outside is already out of our control. From the looks of that fellow's methods, even if he catches up to you, he might not be a match for the solipsistic. To be able to smash a hole in the demonic sky mountain protection array with one punch, his attack power is at least 2 billion. 2 billion, the Zhongtian general looked at the 2 gradually disappearing black dots in the sky and narrowed his eyes slightly. Flame demon, solipsistic. The next time I meet you, I will definitely not leave these 2 scourges alive. Chapter 605. Lu Chen had underestimated the flame demon's old injuries. At this moment, the flame demon's aura was already weak. Lu Chen hurriedly found a lakeside and let the 9-winged beast stop there. Little Green, quickly check on the flame demon. Lu Chen laid the flame demon flat on the grass. Boss, his injuries were already very serious. This time, he forcefully activated the demonic sky soul scorching array, causing a large amount of spiritual energy to erupt in a short period of time. His body is on the verge of collapse. Can you save him? During the joint competition, most of the great medicines were eaten by Little Furball. I still have some high-grade elixirs left for you, Lu Chen said without hesitation, save him at all costs. Understood, boss. Lu Chen did not know any medical skills. He would only cause trouble if he stayed there. Thus, he left the treatment to Little Green while he sat by the lakeside. Xiao Min, talk to me. Lu Chen handed Xiao Min over. Boss. Xiao Min could also see that Lu Chen was in a bad mood. Her heart ached for him. Xiao Min, I really regret it this time. If I did not have a grudge against the Flame Demon and acted earlier, the Flame Demon would not have been injured so badly. Boss, you don't have to blame yourself. Everyone in the Jotian says that those who are not of our race are bound to have different intentions. After all, you are not of the same race as him. Furthermore, you were imprisoned because of him. Any normal person would have thoughts. Lu Chen shook his head. Other race? What's the difference? Every race has both good and bad people. From the first heaven to the fourth heaven, Xiao Min had never left Lu Chen's side. She knew that what Lu Chen needed now was not guidance, but companionship. She sat quietly beside Lu Chen and watched the tranquil lake with him. After a long time, Lu Chen suddenly said, perhaps we were all wrong. Our enemies are not other races, but those high and mighty forces that control everything. In the evening, Lu Chen set up a simple campsite and set up a bonfire. Next time, I'll have to find a chance to learn fishing and cooking. I've already wandered around the wilderness several times. Without these skills, I'll probably starve to death in the future, Lu Chen complained, shaking his head. I really miss chasing Cloud's barbecue. On the other side, Little Green had fed the Flame Demon quite a few pills. At this time, the Flame Demon was still unconscious and was sleeping on the haystack. It's great now. The humans and demons can't stay here any longer. At this moment, the Flame Devil squeaked. Lu Chen hurriedly rushed over to take a look. The Flame Demon finally woke up. He opened his eyes slightly and saw Lu Chen's concerned face. Are we all dead? When Lu Chen heard the Flame Demon speak, he finally let out a sigh of relief. He's not dead. He's alive and well. Little Green, you've worked hard. Little Green isn't tired. Boss, if he wants to fully recover, he still needs to rest for a month. Also, I'm missing a few medicinal herbs to restore the spirit pill. Send them to me. I'll think of a way to get them. Lu Chen helped the Flame Demon sit up and fed him some water. How do you feel? Better? My whole body hurts like hell. Lu Chen asked again, oh right, how are you in real life? They won't directly cut off your login device, right? Login device? Oh, you're talking about that. We demons don't use it. If you don't use it, how do you get into the game? The Flame Demon said weakly, game. We demons enter Jotian from level 4. We don't need the Jotian's beginner trial. At level 4, we enter the Jotian world through divine consciousness. At level 5, I heard that it's directly. The translation software stopped translating the information after the 5th heaven, and it was impossible for Lu Chen to understand the language of the Balrog. Oh right, it's forbidden to talk about the later stages of the Jotian world. You probably can't understand what I'm saying. I can't understand, but it doesn't matter. I'll explore it myself. As long as you're fine in real life. The Flame Demon thought for a moment. They'll probably put me on the wanted list. Wait for me. I'll go find a safe place to hide. They were friends who had gone through life and death together. The Flame Demon went offline in front of Lu Chen. After a while, the Flame Demon came back online. Once the Flame Demon came online, he looked at the sky and said in a panic, oh no, I forgot about the time difference. Let's get out of here. Ah. Why? It's quite safe here. Besides, we don't have anywhere to go. Safe my ass. Let's go. That thing is about to come out. What's about to come out? Lu Chen asked curiously. Level 4 Heavenly Domain Boss. Ah. Lu Chen was shocked. Heavenly Domain Boss? This level's heavenly domain boss doesn't stay in Tong Tian Tower. He's wandering around. That guy isn't just strong. He's also cruel. He usually won't kill you directly. He'll make you beg for death. Remember, you definitely can't stay in the wilderness at night. The flame demon stood up. There's a small town in the northeast. It's full of mercenaries. Let's go there first. That guy won't enter the city. Lu Chen thought that even if the flame demon didn't know his strength, he should at least have some understanding of his strength since he helped him escape from the 10,000 immortal demon army. Even so, he was still so nervous. The level 4 heavenly domain boss must be very strong. Quick, don't just stand there. Don't use your mount. It's too big of a target. Lu Chen saw that he was so anxious. He immediately called back Xiaomin and Little Green and carried the flame demon on his back. After using Land of Death and Dragon Blood Boil to reduce his HP to more than 10% and shortening the cooldown of his displacement, Lu Chen brought the flame demon and quickly fled towards the northeast. Quick, faster. Big brother, I'm already the fastest. Do you think I'm a Maserati? The flame demon wasn't in the mood to joke with Lu Chen. He looked around vigilantly. Not good, I can already feel that thing approaching us. Just as he said that, Lu Chen suddenly felt a violent tremor under his feet. Looking back, Lu Chen couldn't help but gasp. The mountain range behind him seemed to have come alive and began to move up and down. Damn, what the hell? It's that guy. Run! The flame demon shouted. He hadn't seen the thing's true appearance, but to be able to make the mountain range move up and down, the thing underground was definitely not a joke. The earth trembled, making the point where Lu Chen used his displacement skill unstable. Damn it, how big is a level 4 boss? Lu Chen gritted his teeth. 9 void steps. He had never thought that he would be able to use the 9 void steps just to escape. Lu Chen was in a floating state, shuttling back and forth in the air. He watched as the ground cracked open and something tumbled underground, chasing after them. Occasionally, Lu Chen saw an eye with a diameter of more than 30 meters. Just the eyeball alone was already a huge monster. It's over, it's below us. Damn it! Lu Chen finally understood why the flame demon was so nervous. This creature was definitely a huge monster that Lu Chen had never seen before. Its strength was even more unimaginable. Flame demon, how far are we? After 5,000 meters, we will enter Mercenary City. It won't chase us. 5,000 meters. Lu Chen's eyes were about to pop out. 9 infinite void steps. Chapter 606. Lu Chen could not wait to use all his strength as if he was fighting against a top expert. He did not dare to stop at all as he frantically fled towards Mercenary City. It's below us. Shut up, I know. Lu Chen's eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. He carried the Balrog on his back and pulled out the limitless sword with one hand at the same time. However, there was only a series of immune words on the ground. What kind of defense is this? At this moment, 200 meters in front of Lu Chen, at the limit of 19 void steps, the ground suddenly flipped up like a carpet, forming an earth wall. Not good, it's making its move. The Balrog shouted behind Lu Chen. Lu Chen quickly changed direction, but the ground on the other side also flipped up an earth wall. Be careful of being surrounded. I know, can't you stop for a moment? Lu Chen scolded in annoyance. If he guessed correctly, this should be an earth-type technique. As for the level of the technique, to be able to easily change the landscape in such a large area, it was definitely not low. We can't take a detour, or else we won't be able to escape. Lu Chen gritted his teeth. Balrog, hold me tight. It's already very tight. Lu Chen put away the limitless sword. War god possession. Demon transformation. Symbiosis of gods and demons. Transformation of chaos attack. Void break. Several moves were launched at the same time. Lu Chen carried the Balrog on his back and rushed forward with a punch. With a loud bang, Lu Chen's entire body sank into a layer of earth. This layer of earth had just been broken, but it was quickly replaced by new earth as if it was endless. Lu Chen used all his strength to break through the void, but facing the endless supply of earth, he was unable to break through with one punch. The surrounding stone has become hard, it wants to trap us. Big brother, don't talk. I see it. Spiritual energy storm. Void break. Now Lu Chen could not stay for even a moment. He repeatedly used spiritual energy storm and void break to break the layer of earth in front of him. With the second punch, Lu Chen moved forward 50 to 60 meters, 500 meters left. After a few punches, Lu Chen's body could no longer bear this kind of intense battle. Your body has exceeded the load limit. The current damage level is 10%. Spiritual energy storm, shatter the void. There were still 200 meters left. Life and death would be decided in these 200 meters. Lu Chen ignored his injuries and madly rushed towards the edge of Mercenary City. For the last punch, Lu Chen felt that the resistance on his fist was much less. After this punch, he finally broke through the layer of soil. Your body has exceeded the load limit. The current damage level is 85%. The flame demon was right. After entering Mercenary City's territory, that thing finally stopped, and Lu Chen fell heavily from the sky. Lu Chen had just spat out a mouthful of blood, but the flame demon was not much better off. Spitting out a mouthful of green blood, the two of them collapsed in front of the invisible dividing line. The celestial domain boss seemed to have turned around, but it left behind a shocking path. Wherever it passed, the ground collapsed, the trees fell, and the rocks that were swept up just now formed a small hill when they fell to the ground. Lu Chen gasped for breath, still in shock. This heaven domain boss is too strong. The flame demon swallowed a few mouthfuls of saliva. Kid, I didn't think you were this strong. I've never heard of anyone being able to escape from that thing, but you actually ran several thousand meters. What exactly is it? Why isn't it in Tong Tian Tower, but in the wild? Lu Chen still did not understand. I've never seen it before. Even those who go to Tong Tian Tower probably don't have the chance to see what it looks like. The fourth layer of heaven is only one layer away from the fifth layer of heaven. The fifth layer of heaven is called the heaven domain with a qualitative change. The boss of this layer is not something the heaven domain boss of the past can compare to. According to this guy's attack pattern, it was indeed hard to see what it looked like. In the wild, it eats the corpses of the immortal army that died on the battlefield. I don't know how many it has eaten. It's a corpse. Lu Chen could not help but take a deep breath. Alright, it was similar to Little Furball. Little Furball did not like to eat dead things, but it did not seem to be picky. No matter what, Lu Chen and the flame demon finally escaped. Ha, ha 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 ha. All of a sudden, the Balrog began to laugh for no reason. His laughter grew louder and louder, and he could not stop himself. Are you scared, silly? No, ha ha ha, look at you now. You're just like me. The two of us came to Mercenary City like this, I'm afraid we'll end up on the streets. Lu Chen looked at his own appearance. His entire body was covered in wounds, and his body was heavily injured. He was indeed similar to the flame demon. The two experts were now as poor as beggars, and they couldn't even fight. You don't have to carry me. Let's go, we'll go to Mercenary City first. I'm about to collapse from exhaustion. The flame demon helped Lu Chen up. The two of them supported each other and walked towards Mercenary City not far away. What are you doing? The soldiers outside the city were of a strange race. At this moment, they were impatiently sizing up the two people in front of them. They had disheveled hair and dirty faces. There were traces of blood at the corners of their mouths, and they were even smiling foolishly. It seemed like their mental states were not very normal. The most important thing was that these two people, one of them was a human, and the other was a demon. Who knew how they got together? We want to do some errands here. This is Mercenary City. As long as you have the strength, you can do it. But looking at the two of you, I'm afraid you'll starve to death. Then you don't have to worry about it. The soldier thought for a moment. If they were not here to cause trouble, or if their mental states were not normal, then he had no right to stop them from entering the city. Then don't die in the city. I'll have to collect your corpses when the time comes. After mocking them, the person let them pass. Lu Chen and the Flame Demon supported each other and limped into Mercenary City. Due to the existence of the Heaven Domain boss, there were no battles at night. However, it was especially lively at night. There were people of various races everywhere. There were beauties soliciting customers on the streets. It was unknown what kind of business they were running. Hey, do you want to try a different flavor? The Flame Demon looked at Lu Chen sinisterly. Go have fun. I'll pay for you. Forget it. I don't have such a heavy taste. Lu Chen shook his head. There are also human beauties, but I can't appreciate them. The Flame Demon shook his head. If my wife knew that I was here at night, she would probably break my legs. Lu Chen smiled and said, Are you still a tracheitis? We demons only have one wife for life. Even if we lose our spouse, we won't remarry. Can't you humans be fickle? Why are you still so reserved? Alright, don't lead me astray. Let's find an inn first. The two of them found a few inns, but they were all chased out. Where did this beggar come from? Get out, get out. Don't dirty our shop. We don't accept gold coins or military merits. Your military merits don't belong to us. What's the use of taking them out? Go, we don't accept anything. You two are about to die. Don't die in our shop. Get out. In the end, Lu Chen and the Flame Demon had no choice but to find a shade to rest. I never thought that I, the Flame Demon, would one day be in such dire straits. The Flame Demon shook his head. Lu Chen's expression was solemn. Now that Little Green's pills were gone, it was easy to find some herbs when he was in a good state. However, things were different now. When he was in the third celestial stage, he had Cowherd by his side. At that time, Cowherd was old but strong. Now, he only had the Flame Demon, who was in a worse state than him. Speaking of which, the strength of a fourth celestial stage boss was far beyond Lu Chen's expectations. With his current strength, he was no match for that guy. Flame Demon, what is the currency here? How can we earn money? We have to make a comeback, right? Lu Chen asked. It's spirit stones. That's the real universal currency. Gold coins can only buy some trash here. If we want to earn money, we can go to the recruitment market tomorrow. At that time, the various clans that need mercenaries will come to pick people to clear the beasts in the area under their jurisdiction or do some mercenary missions. There are all kinds of things. I hope that the blind ones will pick the two of us. Lu Chen shook his head. Only a blind person would pick them. Chapter 607. After staying under the tree for a night, the two of them found a small river and cleaned themselves up before dawn. Lu Chen changed into a red outfit. The Balrog glanced at him. So coquettish? I can't. Fine. As long as you're happy. But don't wear the outfit. They'll definitely look at your equipment. If you wear the outfit, you won't be able to see your equipment. Lu Chen looked at the Balrog. This guy's equipment was quite luxurious. There were all kinds of colors. They should all be of the immortal level. No wonder this guy was so strong. He could seriously injure the great generals of the human race. That's right. They'll definitely look at the equipment of mercenaries. Okay, I got it. The recruitment market was already full of mercenaries. The other mercenaries were in groups of tens or hundreds of people. No matter what race they were all well equipped. There were specialists to bargain with the veiled or masked employers. The Balrog looked at the guy beside him with a hopeless expression. This guy was wearing a beginner's short-sleeved shirt, big pants, and only a pair of combat boots. Big brother, I told you not to wear the outfit. Do you have to strip like this? Look, is there anyone looking for us? I only have this one equipment. I don't usually show my sword. Forget it, forget it. You should put on the clothes. Standing next to you, I feel like I'm a pimp. Lu Chen put on his wild blood sword god outfit again. Old flame, no matter how good your equipment is, we can't fight now. Can we get missions? Lu Chen shook his head. Who said we have to fight? There are many missions here. Wait patiently. I don't want to sleep on the ground again. While the two of them were chatting, a large group of employers came and went. However, when they saw that the two of them were weak and pale, it was obvious that they were injured. They didn't even give them a second glance and walked past them. After standing on the street for more than 2 hours, two people finally looked over. They lowered their heads and talked for a while before walking over. Although they were wearing veils, they seemed to be elves. As for whether they were dark night, nature, or elemental, it was hard to tell. Even the translation software no longer showed the race of the other party after entering Mercenary City. Are you from the demon race? One of the female elves asked. Her voice was quite pleasant. Yes. The flame demon crossed his arms and said arrogantly. It's rare for a demon to be a mercenary. As for equipment. Fire rune breastplate, demonic sky battle boots, Hell's Judgment twin blades. A full set of immortal equipment. However, do you have any physical injuries? Yes, 87% now. Isn't that the same as being crippled? I don't do fights, the Balrog said decisively. Lu Chen shook his head. Was the flame demon really here to be a mercenary? Why was he even more arrogant than a buyer? Well, we don't need you to fight, but if the matter is exposed, you might be in danger. Do you accept? What commission? You should know what race we are, right? I don't know. I don't want to know. The Balrog said calmly, the rule of mercenaries is to work for money and not ask about anything else. The two women looked at each other and nodded slightly. You're not stupid. How about this? Our commission is very simple. We need you to pretend to be a representative of the demon race and meet some people to get what we need. After the matter is done, we can heal your physical injuries or give you 100 spirit stones. Choose one of the two. However, if you are exposed, you should know the consequences. With your current state, it will be difficult for you to protect yourself. The flame demon frowned and thought for a moment. I can accept the commission, but I have a condition. Bring him along. The two night elf women looked at Lu Chen. He was wearing a red outfit, but they couldn't see any equipment. Most importantly, he was a human. Human. We don't need humans. If you want to bring him along, you can, but we won't pay extra. Lu Chen was very depressed. It seemed that the human race was still the lowest race among the 9 camps. No one even wanted him as a mercenary. For missions from the same camp, they would rather choose half-beastmen, nature elves, and dwarves before considering the human race. The starting point of the human race was too low. Alright, I accept the commission. I will bring him along. As usual, this is 30 spirit stones in advance. Of course, if you choose to pay us to heal your injuries, you better not spend these 30 spirit stones. You will have to pay us back in the end. Now, I will give you an hour to prepare and come to the north of the city to find us. The night elves left the 30 spirit stones and left. The flame demon took the money and handed it to Lu Chen. Old Kwang, let's go and buy some herbs first. Lu Chen said, if we use spirit stones to buy herbs, how much would it cost to heal your injuries? If we buy pills directly, it would cost about 500. If we buy herbs to refine pills, the materials and the payment to the alchemist would be about 200. Lu Chen frowned. The difference between the two payments is at least double. They obviously want you to choose the latter. I think there is a problem. They probably don't want to pay you. The flame demon nodded. Yes. If I'm not wrong, they might kill us in the end. So you thought of it too. Then why are you dragging me along? Lu Chen stared at the flame demon. If I don't bring you along, wouldn't I be dead? You are really my good brother. The flame demon was completely different in front of Lu Chen. In front of others, he was always cold and aloof. Perhaps it was because of the nobility of his race, even if he was reduced to a disabled mercenary, he was still superior. But in front of Lu Chen, this guy smiled mischievously. Can I not take it? Otherwise, the two of us will starve to death here. Do you think 100 spirit stones is easy to earn? Ordinary missions give a maximum of 10 spirit stones. Our mission reward is 10 times more than others. Lu Chen thought about it. It seemed to be true. It was impossible for the two of them to accept ordinary missions. They could only accept this kind of strange mission. Then after the mission is completed, what about the 70 spirit stones? According to the rules, the remaining 70 spirit stones will be temporarily kept in Mercenary City. When we carry out the mission, we will pretend that we don't know their plan. After the mission is completed and they confirm that the mission is completed, they will mention the matter of healing. We will refuse it no matter what. If they use force, we will escape. As long as we can run back, we can get the remaining 70 spirit stones. The flame demon put his hand on Lu Chen's shoulder. Last time when we met the Heaven Domain boss, I saw your strength. I have never seen a second person who could escape from the Heaven Domain boss. So use these 30 spirit stones first. Don't you have Miss Green? The cost of recovery is much lower than others. See how much you can recover. Lu Chen nodded. In the current situation, it seemed that he could only take one step at a time. Lu Chen brought Lu Yi to buy some medicine in the medicine store. Within an hour, Lu Yi refined a few pills. Boss, these 7 pills can alleviate your injuries. It can reduce the damage to your body to around 65%. This is an Overlord pill. It is a 3-star pill. After taking it, it can increase the potential of your body for 16 seconds, ignoring the damage to your body. However, after 16 seconds, it will return 70% of the pain. Unless it is absolutely necessary, don't use it. With an alchemist, the cost of recovery was much lower. Lu Yi was also a top alchemist. The success rate of refining pills and the quality of the pills were higher, so the cost was even lower. 30 spirit stones were already able to recover 20% of Lu Chen's injuries. They also refined an additional Overlord pill. Lu Chen took the Overlord pill and nodded. I hope we don't need to use it. Chapter 608. The other party was mainly looking for the flame demon, so Lu Chen followed behind the flame demon. The two of them got on the other party's Dragonhawk beast. When we reach the meeting place, follow the signal we taught you and take the item back, the employer instructed. Got it. The meeting place was in a dense forest. After the flame demon was ready, he set off with Lu Chen. Wait. He can't go. Stay here with us. The elf pointed at Lu Chen and said. If a mercenary breaks the rules, there will be no place for him in the fourth heaven. The flame demon said, suspecting that the other party was holding Lu Chen hostage. Of course we know, that's why we came to you. We don't want him to be a hostage, we can't let them see a human. This group of people was ruthless enough to only say it now, but this didn't conflict with the flame demon's plan. You go, I can stay here, Lu Chen said. The flame demon nodded and entered the forest alone. Half an hour later, the flame demon came back with a wooden box. You've got what you wanted. A night elf male came forward to take the box and opened it to take a look. Lu Chen's gaze swept across the box. There was a black item in the box. It didn't look impressive and seemed to be incomplete. The body was emitting black gas, it should be an immortal item. However, Lu Chen couldn't think of what it was. It didn't look like a piece of equipment or a weapon. It could be a magic treasure. Lu Chen felt strange. Although immortal equipment was rare, this was the fourth heaven. Immortal equipment wasn't everywhere, but everyone had at least a few. What kind of immortal equipment was so mysterious? Moreover, that item seemed to be incomplete. There were irregular cracks on the edge. The elf male in charge of inspecting the item nodded to his companion. It's a demon god lotus heart. Lu Chen's mind suddenly exploded. Demon god lotus heart. No matter what it was, it had the prefix of a demon god. Demon god set. However, they were inspecting the item in front of him and the flame demon. He even mentioned the name of the equipment without any hesitation. After thinking about it carefully, Lu Chen understood. Only the dead could keep secrets forever, so it didn't matter what was said in front of the dead. They would definitely kill him to silence him. The surprise on Lu Chen's face only lasted for a moment. He hadn't forgotten the current situation, and he couldn't let the night elves see any clues. The flame demon walked to Lu Chen's side and said to the person in charge, "The mission has been completed. Please confirm." The dark elf woman nodded slightly. "Yes, mission confirmed. By the way, what reward would you like to choose?" "Spirit stones." The woman frowned. "Spirit stones? Your injuries are so serious, don't you want to recover as soon as possible? We have the best pharmacists. If you don't want the spirit stones, we can treat you." The Balrog said faintly, "I need money recently. My injuries will slowly recover in the future." "Ha ha ha ha, I don't think you lack money. You're just too smart." The night elf woman laughed. "You know we won't let you leave here alive." The flame demon sneered. "I didn't expect you to be so direct. We're just two ordinary mercenaries. There are all sorts of people who come to Mercenary City to commission missions. The secrets we've come into contact with should be much more valuable than this piece of broken equipment. Why do you have to kill us?" The woman smiled calmly. "Ordinary mercenaries. Don't be modest. I'll take it that you bought this immortal equipment with money. But there were at least 300 people on the other side. When you came back, you were so calm and composed. Even when you were heavily injured, you were still able to be so calm. This isn't something those cowardly mercenaries can do." The woman raised her head and paced in front of the flame demon. "Everyone says that mercenaries aren't afraid of death. Actually, mercenaries are the ones who are most afraid of death. Those who aren't afraid of death are all killing enemies in the immortal army and fighting for their own tribe. But you betrayed your tribe. Isn't it because you're cowardly and afraid of death that you became mercenaries and struggled at death's door? You don't look like a mercenary. I also won't let this secret leak out. If I didn't guess wrongly, with your intelligence, you should have already thought of an escape route. But unfortunately, I also thought of it, so you won't be able to escape." The flame demon narrowed his eyes. He had really underestimated this woman. "Men, kill the two of them." A group of elves walked out from the surrounding tree trunks. They had already prepared an ambush and were in disguise. At this moment, Lu Chen shouted, "Stop!" The group of people were also a little confused. The target shouted for them to stop. In this situation, should they stop? N. Human race's lackey. What else do you have to say? Lu Chen had already been treated as the flame demon's lackey. The flame demon couldn't help but want to laugh. "Hey, I don't want a lackey like you." Lu Chen rolled his eyes at him. What kind of situation was this, and this guy was still talking nonsense? "What I want to say is there a possibility that you can let the two of us go, you can take your things, and we can go back to being mercenaries? For example, we can give you a 50% discount." The woman was really amused by Lu Chen. "Kid, you're really too naive. Do you think that's possible?" Lu Chen touched his nose with his right hand, looking like he was thinking carefully. But the flame demon standing beside Lu Chen saw this small action of Lu Chen's. He looked like he was touching his nose, but he had already stuffed a pill into his mouth. Overlord pill. It stimulated the body's potential for 16 seconds. This was originally something that should be used at the last moment, but this guy had already taken it. This meant that the next step was to take action. If there really isn't such a possibility, then there's only one way. Lu Chen's words were halfway through when he suddenly exploded. Triple door. Splitting Mount Hua. At first, everyone didn't take this human seriously. Not only was he human, but he also looked sick and injured. The key was that he usually didn't talk much, so it felt like he was really the flame demon's follower. However, no one thought that this most inconspicuous human would suddenly make a move at this time. Moreover, his target was actually the person who took the flame demon's wooden box. With a swing of the rod, that person was caught off guard and was immediately hit. Under the dizziness, a figure flashed past and snatched his wooden box. He actually stole the demonic god Lotus Heart. "Quick, kill him." The elf woman reacted at this time, and the surrounding elf warriors quickly pounced on Lu Chen. "Ghost shadows!" Lu Chen shouted. "Descend!" The flame demon was also stunned. This guy actually didn't use the overlord pill to escape. He wanted to kill these elves. A large number of red ghost shadows appeared around them, moving quickly. "Kill him, set up the formation, Dark Side of the Moon." Lu Chen didn't care what kind of technique Dark Side of the Moon was. What he could be sure of now was that he didn't have time to delay. Once the formation was set up, it would take him a lot of time to break it. In addition, the overlord pill wasn't invincible. After 16 seconds, his injuries would return. At that time, he would be injured on top of his injuries, and he would definitely die. "I'm all ears." Lu Chen grabbed the air with one hand, and a strong suction force directly sucked the elf woman in front of him. This was the special effect of the new artifact, the Azura relic. This was the first time Lu Chen used it. To catch bandits, first catch the ringleader. The elf woman looked at Lu Chen in shock. "Impossible, this is the effect of the chant of all Buddha's barrier. This should be a passive effect. Why did you take the initiative to release it? You know quite a lot." "Unfortunately, you're wrong. This is the Azura relic." Lu Chen sneered. "You want to kill me to silence me?" "Sorry, that's what I thought too. Place of death. Dragon's blood boil. Tiger descends the mountain." A 30-stage attack fiercely bombarded the elf woman. Chapter 609. Although Void Break dealt the highest single damage, Fierce Tiger Descends the Mountain's total damage was not inferior to Void Break. Killing the elf woman was not a problem at all. After killing their leader, the other elves were stunned. This fellow had actually killed their leader so easily in front of everyone's eyes. What kind of explosive damage is this? It's over 1 billion damage. He's really a human. I'm afraid he's at least at the heavenly general level. Wait, didn't you say he was heavily injured? Lu Chen naturally would not explain this. He quickly attacked. Infinite 3000 instant slash. Bestowment Liberation's single damage was high, but the 3000 instant slash had more attack times. Moreover, if he killed the opponent's unit during the attack, the remaining attack times could be transferred to others, so the attack would not be wasted. Time was tight, and he also had to consider the damage of the Overlord God Pill in the later stage. Lu Chen chose the most suitable skill and launched continuous attacks. The red figure jumped among the elves, and wherever he passed, corpses were everywhere. This scene made even the flame demon tremble in fear. This guy's damage is so high. After a dozen seconds, the resisting elves were defeated, and the remaining elves fled in all directions. Lu Chen did not chase after them. He pulled the Balrog and used the triple door to flash far away. Old Flame, take me back to Mercenary City. Lu Chen had just finished speaking when he spat out a mouthful of blood. His face was pale. It must be the damage of the Overlord God Pill. Hold on, I'll take you back. After returning to Mercenary City, the Balrog first settled Lu Chen down, then went to the commission office to collect the remaining 70 spiritual stones. Old Kwang, are you okay? Lu Chen's face was pale as he shook his head. It's nothing serious. It's just that the damage to my body has increased again. We should have just run away. That way, we wouldn't have been injured so badly. Lu Chen forced a smile. They won't let us run away so easily. Since they don't plan to let us live, we can't just sit here and wait for death. But why did you steal their things? I saw that you didn't use any physical damage skills. After they survive, even if it's for this thing, they will definitely find us. Lu Chen looked at the wooden box. I have to get this thing. Then, they opened the wooden box. Old Yen, do you know what this is? The demonic god's lotus heart is a legendary piece of equipment. I didn't expect it to really exist. Lu Chen touched the demonic god lotus heart and obtained its information. Divine Demon Lotus Heart Fragment, 1/9, attributes unlucky, special effect, ominous. From the system's prompt, it seemed that he could not see anything. Old Flame, you said that this is a legendary equipment. What else do you know? The Flame Demon thought for a moment before saying, rumor has it that this equipment has the power to destroy the heavens and earth. Its level is unknown, and there are many opinions about its attributes. Moreover, I heard that each of the 9 factions has a fragment of the Lotus Heart of the Divine Demon. When all 9 fragments are gathered, the Lotus Heart of the Divine Demon can be reconstructed. Lu Chen frowned. It seemed that this equipment was most likely part of the Divine Demon set. However, if each of the 9 factions kept a fragment, it would be extremely difficult for him to obtain the Lotus Heart of the Divine Demon. Indeed, none of the Divine Demon sets were easy to obtain. Old Kwang, what do you want this for? If we can't gather all 9 fragments, it's just a piece of trash. Lu Chen looked at the Flame Demon and said firmly, then let's gather all 9 fragments. Lu Chen had finally obtained news of a piece of Divine Demon equipment. There was no reason for him not to fight for it. Old Yen, you don't have to worry about this. If those elves come looking for you in the future, just push it to me. The Flame Demon's expression was serious. Who do you think I am? We've gone through life and death several times, and we're already friends. Moreover, it's not good for us to separate now. You want the Lotus Heart of the Divine Demon, right? I'll help you. Those elves should be the Night Elves. Although we stole something, I'm guessing that they're doing something shady. At least, they won't dare to openly look for us. Right now, we can only continue to stay in Mercenary City. As long as the 2 of us recover, with our strength, we won't have to be afraid of them. Lu Chen nodded. The Flame Demon's thoughts were the same as his. Those elves who went to the Divine Demon mercenaries for the transaction were definitely not the real deal. It was because of this that he dared to kill them and steal their treasure. Old Kwang, will leave 10 of the 70 spiritual stones for expenses. As for the rest, heal your injuries first. Last time, you healed my injuries. This time, it's your turn. Lu Chen said, it's not that I'm being modest, but the main point is that the employer doesn't care about humans. You're a divine demon. If your body's condition is better, you'll be able to earn money faster. The flame demon thought about it and agreed. Alright, then I'll go get the medicine. The flame demon's business wasn't too good. After all, they were a mercenary group, and he was alone. Moreover, his body hadn't fully recovered. Occasionally, there would be a mission, but they were all spy missions that didn't pay much. After a month, the flame demon earned more than 50 spiritual stones, which was just enough to heal his injuries. During this month, the elves indeed didn't come looking for them. Lu Chen and the flame demon had discussed this matter. The elves' most important target was definitely the divine demon Lotus Heart Fragment, which was snatched by Lu Chen. Therefore, even if they secretly came to Mercenary City, they wouldn't make a move without seeing Lu Chen. Lu Chen simply didn't show his face. Every day, he stayed in the inn and healed himself and controlled his injuries under Little Green's guidance. On this day, Lu Chen had nothing to do, so he cultivated the divine demon mixed element cultivation technique. It's a pity that I can't activate the divine demon symbiosis. Right now, I only have 1 spiritual energy point per minute. Lu Chen sat cross-legged and got Furball to help guard the door. Just as he entered the cultivation state, Lu Chen suddenly discovered that the divine demon Lotus Heart Fragment was acting strangely. Lu Chen immediately took out the fragment. A cloud of smoke spread out from the fragment, forming a floating map. This is... The energy is very unstable. It shouldn't last for long. Lu Chen hurriedly synchronized the map into his personal map panel. The divine demon Lotus Heart then calmed down. Lu Chen put it away and opened his personal map to examine it carefully. He zoomed the map to its largest scale. There were a total of 9 red dots on the map. 5 of them were in 6 of the 9 great camps, while the other 4 were scattered everywhere. 1 was in Mercenary City, 1 was in the Wildlands, and the other 2 were surrounded by a cloud of fog. Could this be the location of the divine demon Lotus Heart Fragment? Lu Chen's brows furrowed. The area in Mercenary City should be the one in my hand. Old Yen said that each of the 9 great factions have a fragment. However, I don't know how many years ago that was. The fragment in my hand has already been used for secret transactions. It seems that some of the factions might have lost their fragments. There's actually a fragment in the Wildlands. I just happen to have the key. Damn, this key was obtained from the Azura world. That means that if I can't enter the Azura world, I'll never be able to gather the divine demon Lotus Heart. The remaining 2 fragments are in the foggy area. The difficulty is probably not ordinary. It's too difficult to gather the divine demon Lotus Heart. Lu Chen looked at the divine demon Lotus Heart Fragment that was guarding the mountain. When he had just cultivated the divine demon fusion cultivation technique, this fragment had shown him the whereabouts of the other fragments. It seemed to have some sort of connection with the divine demon fusion cultivation technique. This made Lu Chen even more certain that the divine demon Lotus Heart was a part of the divine demon set. Alright, since you also hope that I can restore you, I'll try no matter how difficult it is. Chapter 610. Although the first month was difficult, after Balrog recovered, making money would no longer be difficult for him. Old Kwang, look what I bought today. Balrog happily returned to his residence. I bought vegetables from an 8-star chef. Didn't you say you like to eat barbecue? Lu Chen quickly ran over. Oh, it smells so good. You're rich. Hee, today I received an assassination mission. 70 spirit stones. With this money, you don't need me to serve you anymore. Come, I also made some wine. Let's have a drink. Sure. This was definitely the best meal the two of them had ever had. There was a lot of fish and rice wine. They ate with relish. Even the little furball was drooling. After getting along for 2 months, Lu Chen and the Balrog had become good friends who could talk about anything. Balrog, what happened to you in the real world? Hey, I'm just wanted. I'm fine. It's just that my wife and my little kid have suffered. Didn't you say they were fine last time? It's not a big deal, but it's inevitable that people will point at us. Lu Chen sighed. Sigh, if I had taken action at that time, you wouldn't have fallen into such a situation. Don't talk about this. If I were you, I would also be careful. I promise to ensure your safety, but you almost died in the demon race. Balrog tore a mouthful of barbecue. Speaking of which, you're my only friend outside of the demon race. I didn't expect that I would actually become a friend of life and death with a human. Sometimes I wonder if I've killed people like you before. The human race is like that. What about the other races? In our demon race, there are also people who deserve to die. Sigh, old Kwang, if you can really go against the heavens, I, Balrog, am willing to follow you. Lu Chen smiled. What's there to follow? If we have the same interests, then we'll go together. Alright, let's not talk about this nonsense. Let's drink. Okay, I'll drink as much as I want. I'm not afraid of you. 1,000 cups were not enough to drink with a bosom friend. The two drank until late at night and fell asleep. The next day, Lu Chen woke up in a daze. His head hurt a little, but when he sat up, he found that the flame demon was no longer there. Why are you standing on the street so early? He can't be that diligent, right? Lu Chen looked at the mess on the table and was about to call the inn's waiter to clean it up when the furball suddenly jumped onto Lu Chen's body. Squeak squeak squeak. What? The flame demons have returned to the demon race? Lu Chen was shocked. If the flame devils return to the devil race now, wouldn't that be sending them to their deaths? Squeak squeak squeak. Lu Chen hurriedly opened his mailbox according to the little furry ball's reminder. There was only one letter inside, which was left for him by the flame demon. Brother Kwang, I'm sorry, but I have to go back to the demon race. They captured my wife and child. I can't just watch them suffer. Fortunately, I've already earned enough spirit stones. With these spirit stones, you should be able to recover from your injuries. Don't come looking for me. This time, the great heavenly general will personally supervise. If you come, I'm afraid you won't be able to return. I really want to change this world with you. I want to roam the world and go against the heavens together with you. But there are some things that I can't let go of. As a man, you have to take responsibility. You also have people you want to protect, so I believe you can understand. The Dark Elves have been investigating us. They have already infiltrated Mercenary City. You have to be careful. If one day, you can change the rules of Jyotian. Don't let the major races kill each other. We have enough blood on our hands. Killing and hatred will only be endless. Catasmoker. There were attachments in the mail. Inside were a set of clothes and a cultivation technique. Brat, your clothes are too flashy. Mine is much better than yours. If I give it to you, you'll definitely get a beauty. This is the demonic sky soul scorching formation. I don't know if you can learn it. If you can't, sell it for money. It's still worth some money. Don't get cheated. I won't leave the equipment for you. If they dare to harm my family, I'll still need it when I put my life on the line. The last signature seemed to be the flame demon's real name. In the game, very few people would tell each other their real names. And the friendship between the flame demon and Lu Chen had already transcended the game. Lu Chen closed the mail window. His eyes were wide open, emitting a faint green mist. The flame demon's letter was a farewell letter. Committing a crime against the clan was a crime punishable by death in any faction. If he went back this time, he wouldn't be able to return. The great heavenly general of the demon race was personally supervising. The demon race had many experts. Perhaps even the flame demon wouldn't be able to escape this time. Old flame. Lu Chen frowned. Little green, follow me to the medicine shop. Lu Chen used the spirit stones that the flame demon left him to buy a large amount of medicine. He returned to his residence and had Lu Yi refine it. Boss, don't tell me you're thinking of going to the demon race. Lu Chen's expression was solemn. I have to go. But the demon race is very strong. Moreover, there are great heavenly generals present. If even the great heavenly generals go, there will probably be many middle heavenly generals. Just you alone. Lu Chen took a deep breath. Old Flame should have known long ago that his family members were captured. He didn't tell me because he wanted to earn enough money for me, this guy. If not for the fact that I didn't act in time, he wouldn't have reached this stage today. But boss, you were the one who saved him. It's not the same. If he died in the human race's prison, then he would be a hero of the demon race. His family would also enjoy good treatment. But now, not only has he become a traitor of the demon race, his family members won't be much better off. Even if it's a mountain of blades or a sea of flames, I have to go this time. Lu Yi also understood Lu Chen's temper. Since he had decided on something, he wouldn't change his mind. Family and friends were the boss' greatest weakness. As a ghost pet, the only thing Lu Yi could do was to support the boss with all her might. Boss, do you have a chance of winning? I also don't know how strong the demon race's great heavenly general is. The demon race is the strongest race I've ever met. But if the Four Seas expedition can defeat the demon race, then I might be able to. 2 hours later, Lu Yi gave the last pill to Lu Chen. After consuming it, Lu Chen's physical injuries had already healed. Boss, it seems like the recuperation during this period of time is very effective. Only then can you cure the illness. But boss, it's already late. I'm afraid that before we reach the demon race's territory, we'll meet that thing. Lu Chen shook his head. I can't care about that anymore. If it dares to block me today, I'll kill it. Recalling Lu Yi in Little Hairy Ball, Lu Chen summoned Rhubarb. Rhubarb, see if you can help me avoid the Heaven Domain boss. Woof, woof, woof. Lu Chen nodded. Just do your best. It's not easy to completely avoid it. Just as Lu Chen was about to leave, he suddenly stopped and took out the set of clothes that the flame demon gave him. Demon Monarch's Descent. A top-notch set of clothes with its own aura. It is said that the demon race's sovereign king once wore this set of clothes and ruled the demon race's millions of soldiers. Special effect, able to float in the air without consuming any spirit chi. Changing out of his wild blood sword god, Lu Chen changed into this set of Demon Monarch's Descent. This set of clothes was completely black with golden ripples on it. On the back, there was a large cape and a hood. Lifting the cape, Lu Chen narrowed his eyes. Rhubarb, let's go. Chapter 611. A 20-meter-tall platform had been erected in the demon fortress. A burly demon looked down from the platform. He was 3 meters tall and wore an immortal-grade armor. His skin was dark purple, and there were black runes on his face. He had a pair of red demonic eyes. The demon race's great heavenly general, Demon Venerable Holy War. Beside him was a female demon and a demon child. The child was hiding in his mother's arms. His red eyes were filled with fear. Mommy, will Daddy come for us? The female demon's heart ached. Would he come? She hoped he would come, but she also prayed he wouldn't. Child, you must be as brave as your father. Do what you think is right. Demons were monogamous. Even if they lost their spouse, they wouldn't remarry. To be able to become husband and wife, the woman understood her husband better than anyone else. At this moment, the demon sovereign Holy War spoke. I didn't expect the flame demon to be such a coward. He allowed us to execute you too, but he didn't dare to show himself. The woman stood up straight and said coldly, my husband is definitely not someone who is afraid of death. Back then, he carried out the assassination mission on his own. It was originally a mission with no return. For the demon race, he didn't hesitate to sacrifice his life. The demon sovereign Holy War snorted. For the demon race? You have the nerve to say it's for the demon race? For a human, he didn't hesitate to betray the demon race. He's a traitor to the demon race. He only kept his promise. He didn't betray the demon race. Then what about his promise to the demon race? Never betraying is the oath we demons swore when we joined the immortal army. But what if you kill the innocent? If they're not demons, how can they be innocent? Do you think other races will show mercy when they see us? If that's what you think, then it can only mean that the war has made you lose your nature. The war has made us rich. The demon sovereign Holy War wasn't just about strength. He also had an incomparably firm belief. The sun set in the west. The red sunlight stretched everyone's shadows. At this moment, the deadline was getting closer and closer. The demon sovereign Holy War shook his head. Unfortunately, the fearless man you spoke of didn't show up on time. I gave him 7 days. In the end, you saw it for yourself. I feel sorry for you. The Balrog's wife took a deep breath and hugged the child in her arms tightly. I'm very glad that he made a wise choice. Prepare for the execution. The great celestial general gave the order, and 2 executioners walked onto the execution platform with special weapons in their hands. One of them forcefully pulled the child away from his mother. Mom! Devon! I'm sorry, you have to be brave, okay? I'm sorry, I'm sorry. The woman was heartbroken. Mom, Devon is not afraid. It's just that I miss Dad. Under the same sunset, the man with broad shoulders taught him how to use demonic might and how to fight. Every time, the father and son would train until they were drenched in sweat. They would then sit together on the hillside and watch the sunset. Devon, we have to keep getting stronger. A man must have the ability to protect his loved ones, understand? Dad, I will protect you and Mom. Ha 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 ha, good child. Daddy doesn't need you to protect him. Your mission is to protect Mommy. Yes, I will work hard. Dad, I'm sorry, Devon can't protect Mom. Will you come? You clearly said that you would protect the person you love. The mother and son were restrained, and their axes were raised high. Even if you die, you will die as traitors. You will not be able to obtain any glory. The Holy War Demon Emperor's voice sounded in their ears. Your clansmen will also be implicated by you. They will be despised by their clansmen for eternity. The flame demon's wife closed her eyes, and 2 large teardrops fell down. Devon's large red eyes looked in the direction of the sunset. Dad, it's a pity that I won't have the chance to become stronger. The red sun hung low, and there seemed to be a black dot there. It was like a sunspot on a star, but it was constantly growing larger. Devon narrowed his eyes. What was that? That black dot was very similar to the familiar sight on the hillside every day when he waited for his father to return. A voice came from the distance. The person you want is me. Let go of my wife and son. Suddenly, the flame demon's wife opened her eyes. When she saw that figure, she couldn't stop her tears. Everyone on the execution platform turned to look at that person. It's the flame demon. He's returned. He still has the guts to return. Traitors will be cut into pieces. Traitor. Traitor. Demon Sovereign Holy War looked at that person and narrowed his eyes. He raised his hand and the executioner put down his guillotine. A figure flashed and stood on the execution platform. Demon Sovereign Holy War, I'm here. According to your promise, let them go. Demon Sovereign Holy War faintly smiled. Let them go. Flame Demon, don't you know that there's a saying on the battlefield that all is fair in war? If a traitor commits a crime, his family will be implicated. You should know this, right? You are a grand great heavenly general, and yet you went back on your word. Flame Demon, I am well aware of your strength. What a pity. If you hadn't made such a grave mistake, you might have become the new great heavenly general in the future. Demon Sovereign Holy War sneered. Tell me, do you regret it now? For a human, your future is ruined, your family is ruined, and your name will be forever cursed on your back. Regret? No, Holy War, you don't understand. The one I saved wasn't a human. Not a human. Are you joking? Yes, not a human. What's in his heart is the common people. The great heavenly general sneered. Common people? Are you kidding me? You've lost so much for him. If he can't even save you, how can he save the common people? How can a single person defy the will of the Jyotian? Stop deceiving yourself. Since you're here, there's no need for me to lie to you. Today, your family of 3 will all die. I want to tell all demons that this is the fate of traitors. Flame Demon took a deep breath. He looked at his wife and children under the blade, and red tears flowed down his face. Aisha, Devon, don't apologize. I believe in your decision. Father, Devon is not afraid. Flame Demon's neck bulged as he forcefully suppressed his tears. Good, saying this, he pulled out his twin sabers. Old Kwang, I can't accompany you any longer. You must live on. You must break through the 9 heavens and then tell these people that they were wrong. Tell them that I, Cuddy, didn't misjudge them. Demonic Sky Searing Soul Domain. With a loud bang, within 10 miles of the demon stronghold, black fog tumbled and the ground erupted with flames. Demon Sovereign Holy War snorted. You still want to raid the execution ground? Flame Demon, I am personally overseeing this. How can I allow you to be so impudent? Darkness Domain. The world was dusky, and the wind howled. The distant setting sun was already covered by dark clouds. The great heavenly general of the demon race had personally taken action. Chapter 6:12. The 2 super experts activated their demon domains at the same time. In an instant, the entire demon stronghold turned dark. Flame Demon, you want to win against me? You're still lacking. I'll let your wife and children see how I'll torture you to death. Holy War Demon Commander took out his weapon, a 3-meter-long axe. When this axe appeared, everyone's weapons buzzed. Everyone's eyes widened as they looked at the shining white axe in disbelief. It's the demigod sky-cleaving axe. It's one of the top 5 weapons in the 4th heavenly layer. The sky-cleaving axe can break the heavens and earth. Unless you have another 4 demigod artifacts, normal immortal artifacts can't match it. The Flame Demon stared intently at the Holy War Demon Sovereign, fully focused. The sky gradually darkened. Rhubarb ran in front with Lu Chen following closely behind. To avoid the Heaven Domain boss, they had to rely on Rhubarb to lead the way. Lu Chen couldn't use unlimited teleportation. They were still a dozen miles away from the demon stronghold, but from afar, it was covered in dark clouds. It was clearly different from the surrounding environment. It seemed like there were experts fighting there, and they had all activated their domain skills. Woof woof woof. Rhubarb told Lu Chen that the Heaven Domain boss was nearby. To avoid it, they had to take a detour. Lu Chen frowned. Damn it, why does it have to be nearby? There's no time to take a detour. Rhubarb, come back. I'll charge straight in. Calling back Rhubarb, Lu Chen activated Land of Death and Dragon Blood Boil and quickly jumped towards the demon stronghold. After less than a kilometer, the familiar scene appeared again. The ground began to roll and the mountain range rose and fell. Something was moving underground. This guy. Lu Chen couldn't care less. Every second counted. If he was half a step slower, he might have to guard the flame demon's corpse. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The guy underground broke through the earth and chased after them. This time, it was even faster than before. A deep voice that seemed to come from the abyss said, "You won't be able to escape this time." Lu Chen frowned. This guy had recognized him, and it seemed to be still brooding over the fact that he had escaped from it the last time. Lu Chen used the 9 void steps, but just as he reached the next landing point, the surrounding soil instantly bulged up, forming 4 walls. Lu Chen also had an additional debuff. Trapped Beast, increases the cooldown of displacement skills by 20 seconds. All of Lu Chen's movement skills were now on cooldown and could not be used. Lu Chen wanted to convert his pure spirit chi into primordial spirit chi so that his skills would not be suppressed. However, in just a short period of time, dozens of earthen walls were erected outside the earthen walls. In other words, even if Lu Chen could use all of his displacement skills, he would still have to break through these dozens of earth walls. This earth wall was not an ordinary earth wall. Lu Chen had experienced it previously. He had broken through the void 5 times and only managed to break through one earth wall. Lu Chen's heart was burning with anxiety, but he was still being pestered by the Heaven Domain boss. Suddenly, Lu Chen stopped and stood in the middle of the earth wall. As Lu Chen stopped, the guy underground also stopped. However, Lu Chen could feel that it was under his feet. "Have you given up struggling?" That voice sounded again. Lu Chen narrowed his eyes. "I don't have much time now. Come out, let's settle this." "Settle? You don't have the qualifications. The reason why you are still alive is because I like to play with my prey." Lu Chen snorted and activated the Divine Demon symbiotic form, Eternal Night Barrier. Primal Chaos Domain. N. Primal Chaos Domain. You actually have a Primal Chaos Domain. Interesting. Lu Chen pulled out the Divine Demon Limitless Sword from the void. Cut the crap. I will kill the Heaven Domain boss today. However, the Heaven Domain boss did not appear. The surrounding earth wall fell and merged back into the ground. Lu Chen looked at his surroundings in astonishment. "What do you mean? Human race brat, you have piqued my interest. Unfortunately, you are too weak right now. Even if I kill you, it will be boring. This is not Tong Tian Tower. Guarding Tong Tian Tower is my duty. However, in the wild, I have the power to kill. I can choose not to kill you. Aren't you in a hurry? Take this poison pill and I will let you pass." A black pill came out from the ground and floated in front of Lu Chen. "This is the black insect pill. I will give you 1 year. After 1 year, come to Tong Tian Tower to find me. If you exceed this time, the black insect pill will explode. Even the gods will not be able to save you." Lu Chen frowned as he calculated in his heart. Although the Heaven Domain boss did not make a move, he could feel how strong it was. If he fought with it, even if he won, he would not be able to save the flame demon in time. However, if he took the black insect pill like this, it would be gambling with his life. "What? Afraid that I will poison you? If I want to kill you, why would I need to use this method?" Lu Chen narrowed his eyes. Just as he was about to take the pill, Lu Yi's voice came from his mind. "Boss, be careful. The black insect pill's level is too high. My goo technique's level is too low. I can't cure it within a year. If you go to Tong Tian Tower and it does not cure you, then you will not be able to beat it. The stone wall fell to the ground. Lu Chen looked into the distance. The black fog seemed to have faded away. It seemed like the battle was about to end. The flame demon's words rang in his ears. For the mother and daughter, I am willing to give up everything. However, in order to save him, the flame demon put the people he cherished the most in danger. Only when he had gathered enough spirit stones to heal himself did he go back to save them. How many friends like this could one have in one's life? Taking a deep breath, Lu Chen shook his head and smiled, old flame, I am really sorry. Lu Chen grabbed the black insect pill and swallowed it. You told me to be careful, but I have disappointed you. Boss. Little Green, don't feel pressured. It doesn't matter if you can't cure it. I definitely can't watch Old Flame's family die. Boss. I know. I forgot that you are such a person. After swallowing the black insect pill, Lu Chen said coldly, I will go to Tong Tian Tower to find you in a year. Very good. I hope you are not so weak then. Otherwise, the game will be too boring. Go, don't die there. Lu Chen did not say anything. He turned around and used the infinite triple door. In the blink of an eye, he was 1,000 meters away. On the execution platform, the demonic sky blade was stabbed in the chest of the Holy War Demon Supremacy. He was breathing rapidly. Flame Demon, I actually underestimated your strength. You can actually hurt me. The Flame Demon was lying in a pool of blood. He could no longer move. His arms were cut off by the sky-breaking axe. His tendons were cut off. There were dozens of shocking wounds on his body. The Holy War Demon Supremacy pulled the demonic sky blade out of his chest. His face was gloomy. You actually dared to hurt me. I want you to watch your wife and child die. I want you to die in despair. The Flame Demon lay on the ground, powerlessly looking at his wife and child. Aisha, Devon, I'm sorry, Devon, Dad is useless. I couldn't protect the people I love. The tiger-headed blade was raised high and quickly fell. No. Don't. The Flame Demon screamed at the top of his lungs. At this moment, 2 black-feathered arrows tore through the air and arrived at the horizon. With 2 clangs, the 2 tiger-headed blades were instantly broken. Everyone looked in the direction of the arrows in shock. On the walls of the demon fortress, a black-robed figure stood there. His black cape fluttered in the wind. Under the hood, his eyes were different from the red eyes of ordinary demons. Instead, they emitted rolling green mist. Chapter 613. Old Kwang. The Balrog looked back with mixed feelings. Should he rejoice that this guy had come? Or should he be angry that a human like him had come to the demon race's territory to seek death? The Holy War Demon Sovereign stared at the person on the wall with excitement burning in his eyes. Solipsistic. I didn't expect to not only capture the Balrog, but also lure this brat here. Very good. There's finally a conclusion to the matter of a human escaping the fortress. With that, the Holy War Demon Sovereign swallowed a pill. The injuries caused by the Balrog quickly healed, and his HP was restored to full. In an instant, Lu Chen was already on the execution platform. Seeing the Balrog's family members still under the butcher's knife, he grabbed the air. I'm all ears. Aisha, Devon, and the badly mutilated Balrog were all sucked over by Lu Chen. Little Furball. Lu Chen summoned Little Furball and had it bite open the mother and son's shackles. As soon as they regained their freedom, the mother and son rushed to the Balrog and cried. Cade! Dad! Help me up, the Balrog said. With the help of his wife, the Balrog stood up shakily. Old Kwang, why did you come? Didn't I tell you not to come? Don't you know this is the demon race's fortress? Don't you know that the demon race's great heavenly generals have come? There were 8 culmination heaven generals here. You're here to die. Lu Chen didn't look back. He couldn't bear to see the Balrog in his current state. Even if I die, I have to come. Lu Chen's tone was calm but firm. You're really pissing me off. If you want to be angry, wait until I bring you out. I won't watch my brother's family die. You want to take them away. The Holy War Demon Sovereign looked down at the human in front of him and smiled. Why don't you take a look at where you are? Last time, you were lucky to escape, but this time, the 8 great heavenly generals and I will personally supervise. Do you think you can escape? Additionally, it's already late. I believe you know what's in the theater of operations at night. Lu Chen snorted coldly. Today, even if the Heavenly Emperor comes, I will take them away. You sure talk big. Solipsistic, I've investigated you. Your original world is a place called Earth, right? To be able to make it this far in a world that can't even be considered low-level martial arts, you do have some ability. In your world, there should be countless people worshipping you as the war god. Just in time, I have a tool here that can let them see how their war god is blasted into a pile of mud at the 4th layer of heaven. Furthermore, I want them to see that you were killed for the sake of the devil race. That way, even if you die, they won't see you as a hero. They'll only see you as a spy who colluded with other races. Ha 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 ha, I've been preparing for this day for a long time. I even specially sent someone to the 2nd heaven to contact the leader of your human race. After saying that, Holy War took out a crystal stone. Shadow stone, project the image to the 2nd heaven. Lu Chen frowned. Holy War Demon Sovereign actually had such a tool. Directly broadcasting across 2 layers of heaven. The players of Earth hadn't heard from him for a long time. They probably wouldn't understand that he was fighting for the devil race. With a live broadcast, even if he died in battle, he wouldn't enjoy any glory. He might even be slandered. Holy War Demon Sovereign's intentions were quite sinister. Speaking of which, had the devil race already made contact with the Great Wall of Iron and Blood? The shadow stone flew into the air and covered the current area. The image was transmitted to the 2nd heaven. 2nd heaven, Earth United Front Alliance. An item in the Great Wall of Iron and Blood's backpack vibrated. He hurriedly checked his backpack. Just 3 days ago, a mysterious man had given him something called a shadow stone. It could transmit images across up to 3 layers of heaven. The Great Wall of Iron and Blood still remembered that mysterious man wearing a black cloak and a mask on his face. His strength was unfathomable. Under heavy protection, no one noticed that he was already beside him. Fortunately, he didn't have any malicious intentions. Otherwise, killing the Great Wall of Iron and Blood would be as easy as pie. After that person handed the shadow stone to him, he said, if this shadow stone has any strange movements in the future, it means that there is a battle report from Solipsistic. Don't you guys admire him very much? The shadow stone will automatically broadcast the video on Earth's official website. Take a good look. I believe it will definitely be big news for you guys. Now, the shadow stone finally reacted. The Great Wall of Iron and Blood quickly spread the news. Quickly go to the official website. There's a live broadcast of Mad God's battle. Mad God should be in the 3rd layer of heaven now. Wow, a battle in the 3rd layer of heaven. I'm really looking forward to it. You can extract attributes from the 3rd layer of heaven. I've always dreamed of going there. Let's see how intense the battle is at the 3rd layer of heaven. Only a few people knew that Solipsistic wasn't at the 3rd layer of heaven at all. As early as 2 years ago, he had already reached the 4th layer of heaven. The Frenzy Wave Guild was under the guidance of a mysterious organization of Nameless. They had repeatedly honed their cooperation in the 2nd layer of heaven. At this time, President Lang Noa sent a guild message. Everyone went offline to watch the live broadcast of the president's battle. Master's battle broadcast? My God, isn't that crossing the heavens? Brother. Lu Yi was a little puzzled. She understood Lu Chen. Brother wasn't someone who liked to be in the limelight. Although he was always in the limelight, that wasn't his intention. Brother had always been low-key. Why would he suddenly broadcast a battle video? Crossing the heavens? That should be the shadow stone. A few mysterious experts looked at each other. That thing isn't easy to get. It has to be at least at the 4th layer of heaven. 10 steps, your war god has already reached the 4th layer of heaven. 10 steps. One man was dumbfounded. I'm not too sure about this. Anyway, let's go offline and take a look. The strongest guilds of each country also went offline and logged on to the official website. EDS Guild, Xiao Yao Feng and his team members sat in front of the LCD screen in the hall. Everyone is here. Everyone, take a good look. This should be a battle in the 3rd layer of heaven. It will be very helpful for us when we explore the 3rd layer of heaven in the future. Pay attention. Pay special attention to the reactions of both sides. Also pay attention to the differences between the skills now and now, the control of HP, the connection of skills, and other details. In a battle between experts, the details often determine victory or defeat. Sky Dragon, you too pay special attention. In terms of battle techniques, you two aren't too far away from Mad God. However, in terms of the details, you two still need to improve. Yes, leader. Everyone still didn't understand what this battle meant. They didn't even know that starting from the 3rd layer of heaven, Zhou had already introduced a new concept. Physical damage. The damage in the 3rd layer of heaven mostly affected the physical body in the game. However, in the 4th layer of heaven, the damage extended to the real world. In the 4th layer of heaven, if the opponent used a killing move, people would die. At this time, the official broadcast room 001 to 300 broadcast a scene at the same time. Once they saw the situation on the screen, everyone's eyes widened. What's going on? Chapter 6:14. On the screen, Lu Chen was standing in front of 3 aliens, facing 9 terrifying creatures. What is that? The video says that it's the demon race. Oh my God, there's also the demon race. The aliens in the galactic suit are scary enough, now there's the demon race. Wait, it says that this is level 4. Oh my God, level 4. Mad God has reached level 4. Is the demon behind Mad God also from the demon race? Why is there green liquid all over the ground? Is that their blood? And the children of the demon race, Mad God seems to be protecting them. At this time, the demon called Holy War Demon Monarch said to the screen, Earthlings, your god of war is not on the side of the human race. He has already betrayed the human race. The human race is also looking for him. If you don't believe me, you can ask Solipsistic. Now, in order to protect his demon race friends, he came to our demon race's fortress to die. Remember this, Solipsistic's death today is meaningless to you. These words quickly exploded in the live broadcast rooms. What do you mean? Mad God betrayed the human race? Impossible. Actually, according to Mad God's personality, it's not impossible. Look, he doesn't seem to have any intention of explaining. Didn't the experts who led me say that the human race is in danger? Now it seems that the human race is not the only one in the high heaven domain. If Mad God has such strength, why didn't he help the human race instead of the demon race? Holy War Demon Monarch roared at Lu Chen, Solipsistic, tell me, are you a traitor to the human race? Lu Chen looked coldly at Holy War Demon Monarch and sneered, childish. Aren't you tired of valuing your reputation so much? I, solipsistic, do not need to explain my actions. That's because I'm telling the truth. Your death means nothing to your clansmen. Lu Chen snorted coldly, those who understand me will naturally understand. For those who don't, I don't want to explain. Your fancy words are useless to me. Holy War Demon Monarch smiled faintly, you're still too young. After you die, you'll know how important reputation is. Your friends and family will be cursed. Very good, I like your personality that doesn't explain. It saves me a lot of time. I see that you're also bent on seeking death. Very well, I'll satisfy you next. Nan Feng, Tai Wei, all the heavenly generals of the demon race, listen up. Cut these invaders into pieces and leave no intact corpses. The 8 celestial generals of the demon race stepped forward, revealing their weapons and pets. To be able to become a middle heaven general of the demon race, none of these people were weak. The reason why some middle heaven generals did not become great heaven generals was perhaps not because they were weak. Perhaps it was because of their qualifications, battle achievements, or the quota for great heaven generals was limited. Demon monarch demon of the demon monarch of the demon. The weapons in their hands were all immortal grade weapons, and almost all of them were immortal grade equipment. Solipsistic, the last time we let you escape, it was a disgrace to our demon race. This time, you won't be able to escape even if you have wings. Did you hear the great heavenly general's order? You dare to barge into our demon stronghold alone? We will skin you alive and hang your corpse outside the city gate to show the might of our demon race. You won't be able to protect the flame demon family. Just die with them. Lu Chen slightly narrowed his eyes, every one of you is better than singing. Very well, let me see what kind of ability a 4th layer demon has. Come at me together. Behind him, the flame demon could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. It was unknown whether it was because of its internal injuries or because it had been angered by Lu Chen. What kind of situation was this? Shouldn't this guy be trying to goad them into action? According to the arrogance of the demons, they might have attacked one by one, but this guy didn't play by the rules. In the live stream, someone typed a sentence that immediately resonated with everyone. Whether Mad God has betrayed our race or not, I'm sure that guy is Mad God. As an Earth player, the sentence, come at me together, was too familiar. Anyway, it was not surprising that Mad God would fight, so it was wrong. Yes, it's definitely him. Who cares if he has betrayed our race or not? Anyway, this competition will definitely be interesting. I wonder if Mad God is still that strong in the 4th layer demon realm. The Holy War Demon Lord probably did not expect the Earth players to think this way. In fact, their concept of race was not particularly deep. After all, they had not even seen other branches of the human race before. The 8 great heavenly generals were furious, arrogant. I'll let you be arrogant. Have a taste of my god-slaying domain first. Blood demon domain. Beasts domain. The 8 domains came from various professions. Just the negative statuses alone, Lu Chen's status bar had already been stacked with a long list. This was the first time the Earth players saw a domain-type skill. They were shocked, what skill is that? Look, the area of effect is so big. Is it an area of effect skill? Look at Mad God status. At this time, someone typed a line of words on the bullet screen. A domain is an advanced version of a barrier skill. In terms of barriers, there is a saying that if you fight in someone else's barrier, you will lose half the battle before it even starts. A domain is even more terrifying. The area of effect can reach a radius of at least 800 meters. At the same time, the effect is even more insane. At the same time, it can weaken the enemy and strengthen the user. If all other attributes are equal, one with a domain and one without a domain, the side without a domain has almost no chance of winning. This person should have been a guide who sent this message. After seeing this message, everyone realized the power of a domain. If they took a closer look at the solipsistic status now, it would be even more clear. After all the domain effects are stacked, Mad God's attack is reduced by 97%, physical defense is reduced by 170%. Displacement, teleportation, recovery, skill cooldown is increased by 28 minutes, vulnerability, elemental resistance is reduced by 110%. Attack speed is reduced, skill success rate is reduced. Oh my god, how can we fight this? Is this a domain? It's too scary. They have 8 domains, and look at their equipment. Those are all immortal grade weapons. I remember that the solipsistics weapons are the dark gold bow, the dark gold water reverse scale sword, and the devil's blade. At this time, Lu Chen also moved. God of War possession. Devil transformation. Celestial demon symbiosis. With a boom, Lu Chen quickly entered the demigod and demonic state. His body appeared in the form of an evil child. His body was covered in black fog and golden light. One of his eyes was green and the other golden. What is that? Celestial demon symbiosis? Did Mad God combine his 2 forms into one? This is too exaggerated. Is that the combination of the nameless and the solipsistic? Lu Chen said in a low voice, 8 domains. Sorry, it's useless to me. Chaos domain. Sky-grade dark clouds rolled, and everything within a 1500-meter radius seemed to have spirituality. After a large amount of chaos spiritual energy entered the chaos domain, it formed a whistling wind that swept through the world. At this moment, all the negative statuses on Lu Chen were cleared. The countless spectators on Earth were so scared that their faces turned pale. Oh my god, is the Mad God already so strong? Sky Dragon turned his eyes and looked at the leader, Carefree Wind. Leader, are you sure that the difference between us and the solipsistic is only in the details? Chapter 6:15. When Earth's players saw Mad God activate the Primal Chaos Domain, they realized that Mad God's improvement was the greatest in these 2 years. And through the mysterious Shadow Stone, humans were fortunate enough to see the battle strength of a Layer 4 in advance. Just the contest of domains before the battle had already caused a phenomenon in heaven and earth. On the execution ground, the decisive battle was about to begin. Although Lu Chen made the 8 Middle Heaven generals attack together, they clearly had their own arrangements. At this time, a Middle Heaven general wearing a strange suit had already made his move. Countless black beetles crawled out of his sleeves. These black beetles covered the ground or flew in the air, almost filling the entire space as they pressed down on Lu Chen. Old Kwang, be careful, these are spirit-devouring beetles, they can devour spirit attacks and are a type of goo worm. Ba Jia is a goo master. Flame Demon shouted behind Lu Chen. Lu Chen had planned to use Great Ravager to deal with these disgusting insects, but after being reminded by Flame Demon, he gave up on this tactic. Ha ha ha, Flame Demon, so what if you tell him, your demonic sky soul scorching formation can block my spirit-devouring goo group, but he can't. Ba Jia's laughter was sharp and ear-piercing. Your primal chaos domain is only a so-so, it can only eliminate your own negative state, but it can't change the effect of my insect-tied domain. Solipsistic, I heard you are very strong, your skills almost have no cooldown. Unfortunately, in front of my spirit-devouring beetle nest, no matter how much spirit energy there is, it will be sucked dry by you. Without the support of spirit energy, let's see how you can still be arrogant. At this time, a crisp voice shouted, Uncle Kwang, let me help you. Demonic Sky Soul Scorching Formation. Lu Chen had planned to do it himself, but after hearing this voice, he stopped. Devon sent out a clone and quickly set up the Demonic Sky Soul Scorching Formation. Soon after, the surrounding ground erupted with pillars of fire. Unfortunately, Devon's attributes were too low, his flames were far from being as fierce and deadly as his father's. The spirit-devouring beetles were not directly burned to death, instead they could absorb spirit energy from the flames, causing the flames to be unable to continue and gradually extinguish. Lu Chen looked at the devil race child in surprise, then said with a smile, "Not bad, you can use such a strong array formation at such a young age, you are a bit like your father." Speaking of which, Lu Chen was still in the form of an evil child. Demons were tall and big, so Devon was actually a head taller than Lu Chen. However, height was secondary. The key was his temperament. In this aspect, Lu Chen could be considered a competent, crazy uncle. Devon lowered his head in frustration. I can't stop them. I can't avenge my father," Lu Chen smiled. "No, you have a lot of potential. What you need is time. Old Yen, your son is not bad. He's a piece of good material." Lu Chen and the Flame Demon were sworn friends of life and death, so he naturally valued this child. Moreover, Devon was so sensible. "Devon, uncle will teach you a move. If you don't have enough spirit energy, you don't need to fill all 81 array cores. Concentrate all your pure spirit energy in 10 or even 5 array cores. This way, you can erupt with 10 times the damage for a short period of time. As long as you can protect yourself, that's enough." Ba Jia's eyes widened in anger. Solipsistic was actually teaching him on the spot. Before the Flame Demon left, he had left the demonic sky soul searing array formation to Lu Chen. Although he had never used it before, he had seen the Flame Demon use it and had a general understanding of the characteristics of this cultivation method. The demonic sky soul searing array formation was powerful. Besides its high attack power, long duration, and ability to burn the body, it was also flexible and didn't need to fill all 81 array cores. In the past, half of the Flame Demon's avatars had been killed, but he had still activated the demonic sky soul searing array. As Lu Chen spoke, he lifted his hand and 5 avatars appeared around him. These avatars were not demon avatars, but avatars used to lay down the demonic sky soul searing array. A moment later, the avatars finished laying down the array. Lu Chen lifted his hand and pillars of fire shot out from the 5 array cores, shooting straight into the sky. The moment the pillars of fire shot up, the spirit-devouring beetles that were close to the pillars of fire were instantly roasted into dried corpses. Not to mention those that were directly hit by the flames, they had already turned into ashes. Devon was dumbfounded. What powerful damage! This should have already exceeded the upper limit of the cultivation method. Lu Chen faintly smiled. The demonic sky soul searing array uses pure spiritual energy as the price to cause fire damage. Although I have only created 5 pillars of fire, I have poured in even more spiritual energy. This way, the power will naturally multiply. You are still young. In the future, you might encounter opponents that are stronger than you. Study the skills in your hands more. It isn't impossible for the weak to defeat the strong. On this point, Lu Chen could be said to have a deep understanding. Many of his skills were low-level skills, but through variations, they could often achieve unexpected results. Devon was deeply inspired and nodded heavily. The Balrog, who was watching this scene from the side, was astonished. Last time, my avatar was destroyed, so I had no choice but to use half of the array cores to activate the demonic sky soul searing array. He actually expanded it on this basis. By controlling the number of array cores, he can deal with different situations. This guy, to be able to charge up from a place like Earth, he didn't just rely on luck. Aisha looked at Devon with some worry. Cuddy, your friend is teaching Devon. Is it okay? The Balrog ignored his pain and laughed. You don't know how strong he is. I have seen a thing or two. Let's just say one thing. He was able to escape 7,000 to 8,000 meters away from that thing underground. You should have a rough idea. What? You said, you said he escaped from that guy's hands? I just left the demonic sky soul searing array to him today. I didn't expect that he would be able to think of such a change before actually using it. Even I am deeply inspired. For Devon to be able to receive his guidance, it is also his luck. Aisha had never seen her husband praise someone so much. But after thinking about it carefully, she understood. He is indeed different. In such a life and death battle, he still has the mind to give Devon pointers. Although he hasn't completely revealed his strength, this courage is already admirable. As they spoke, Lu Chen tiptoed and patted Devon's shoulder. You go back and take care of your father. Your Uncle Kwang will handle things here. Devon nodded and obediently returned to his parents' side. Lu Chen was amiable towards Devon, but as soon as he turned around, the killing intent in his eyes reignited. I told you to attack together, but you are still waiting for me to exhaust my spiritual qi. It seems that the 8 Central Sky Generals are nothing more than this. Don't waste your time. If you don't attack, you won't have a chance. Goobug. It should be considered a unit. Little Furball, are you interested? Lu Chen raised his hand and a little white mouse appeared in his hand. Squeak squeak squeak, squeak squeak squeak. Looking at the countless goo bugs, the little furball was more excited than usual. It jumped up and down on Lu Chen's hand, its eyes shining. Okay, then I won't burn them. I'll leave them to you. After receiving the order, the little furball cheerfully jumped down from Lu Chen's hand. Its body instantly expanded, reaching 70 to 80 meters. Roar! Lu Chen shook his head. Your spirit-devouring goo bug eats pure spiritual qi. Sorry, but when it comes to eating, no one can compare to this little furball. It eats everything. Chapter 6:16. Facing thousands of spirit-devouring beetles, little furball seemed to have fallen into a gourmet pit as it ate frantically. Even Ba Jia was dumbfounded. What kind of monster is this? Balrog's eyes widened. He had seen little furball before and knew that it was a glutton. However, he had never seen little furball transform, let alone devour parasites. This thing is actually eating parasites. That's a poison that directly affects the body. If it's not digested, the parasites will enter its body and remain dormant for a long time. Lu Chen was not worried. If little furball said it could eat, then it could eat. As for whether it could digest, there was no need to worry at all. After all, it was a guy that could topple the Jiutian. The beetle tide seemed to have met its natural enemy. Seeing little furball, they did not even have time to escape, let alone attack. Little furball had caused the entire beetle tide to collapse. Although little furball was eating happily, it did not get carried away. It stood beside Lu Chen the entire time. With it around, the beetle tide did not dare to approach. Lu Chen calmly walked to the opposite side. Looks like your plan to eat my pure spiritual energy is going to fail. What are you waiting for? After saying that, Lu Chen pulled out the infinite celestial demon sword from the void. The moment the infinite celestial demon sword was pulled out, everyone suddenly felt their weapons vibrate slightly. It's the power of an artifact spirit. Zhong Tian General was also very knowledgeable and quickly identified this reaction. However, soon, everyone's attention was focused on Holy War Demon Lord, who was watching from the side. At this moment, Holy War Demon Lord had his head lowered. His eyes were wide open as he looked at the Sky Splitter axe in his hand in disbelief. The Sky Splitter axe made a buzzing sound as its entire body trembled violently. What? Even the Sky Splitter axe is affected by the power of that sword's artifact spirit? Impossible, the Sky Splitter axe is a semi-divine artifact, one of the top 5 in the entire fourth heaven. Even if other semi-divine artifacts appeared, it would not have such a reaction. What kind of weapon is that in Solipsistic's hand? On Earth, all the major live stream channels were flooded with all kinds of comments. Mad God changed his weapon. What weapon is that? It's so cool. Have you seen the weapons of the others? It reminds me of Mad God's 9 wings. As long as 9 wings is present, all other mounts will submit to him. I didn't think that even Mad God's weapon would have such an attribute. Could this be the legendary chi of a monarch? This weapon should be immortal grade, right? Moreover, it should be a top-notch weapon even among the immortal grade weapons. After all, the players on Earth were not knowledgeable enough. In their understanding, top-notch celestial weapons were already the best weapons. At this moment, the Holy War Demon Sovereign suddenly raised his head, his eyes burning with fighting spirit. You actually made the Sky Splitter Axe volunteer to fight. Ha ha ha, Solipsistic, you have a good weapon. Lu Chen coldly snorted. Don't worry. Wait until I've dealt with these minions, then we'll settle our accounts. Having said that, Lu Chen moved. Ghostly shadows. The 8 mid-heaven generals quickly reacted. Everyone, be careful of his weapon. Spread out and restrain him. Ranged attackers, attack with all you've got. Cripple his ghost shadow first. A golden light exploded in the field. Vast Buddha's light. Vast Buddha's light can directly cause ghost illusions and doppelgangers to dissipate. At the same time, it increases damage to underworld units by 60% and increases physical defense and elemental resistance by 40%. With a boom, Lu Chen's 300 ghost shadows were instantly killed. Kid, doppelgangers are useless in front of me. I'll make sure you have nowhere to hide. Golden light blinds. Golden body taunt. The golden light battle Buddha quickly moved in front of Lu Chen and activated the taunt skill. Perhaps the golden light blinds had damaged Lu Chen's vision, causing him to be unable to dodge the taunt skill's range and was caught by the golden light battle Buddha. Golden body taunt increases physical defense by 200%, HP by 50%, battle recovery by 30,000 HP per second, body strengthening, reduces physical damage by up to 80% for 7 seconds. Got him. Attack immediately. At the offline base of the Wild Waves Guild, everyone's hearts were hanging by a thread when they saw this scene. This taunt skills buff is so strong. Who is the guild leader facing? Why are all of them so strong? What does it mean by physical damage? Could it be that this competition will directly affect the physical body in the real world? This is too scary. Not good, the guild leader has been taunted for 7 seconds. It'll be troublesome if he gets focused on. Since they had taunted the Solipsistic, it would be strange if they did not focus on him. The other 7 people quickly attacked. Thunder Sky Shaker Arrow. 7 seconds is enough to kill him. Blade Storm, shatter the mountains and rivers, charge up. Be careful not to kill him directly. The Great Sky General wants us to cut him into pieces and leave him with one breath. Wrath of Wind and Thunder, Sky Thunder Collapse. The Culmination General's attack was indeed extraordinary. Their skills once again caused the scene to change. Continuous lightning flashed across the sky, as if it was going to tear the sky apart. It pierced through the clouds from afar and arrived above Lu Chen's head in a moment. Seeing that the heavenly thunder was about to fall and hit Lu Chen's head. At the same time, the Imperial Sword, Divine Descendant, Gu Master, and Elemental Mage charged up their skills and were about to attack. But at this moment, Lu Chen shouted in a low voice, "Put him to death." Dragon Blood Boil. Primal Chaos Attack. Flash Shoot. Rapid Attack. Lu Chen's HP instantly collapsed, leaving only 1/10. And at this moment, the taunted Lu Chen stabbed at the Golden Light Battle Buddha. -18 million, double critical hit, -2. 23 million, poisoned, -2. 23 million, poisoned, -2. 27 million, Earth elemental damage. 1 attack, 4 segments of damage, 24 million damage. But Lu Chen's normal attacks were always 5 consecutive hits, including 1 triple critical hit, causing 140 million damage. At the same time, the opponent was stunned, silenced, slowed, and their pure spirit chi dropped rapidly. The monk who had activated Golden Light Taunt was left with only a quarter of his HP. Lu Chen narrowed his eyes. This guy's HP was too high, 170 million HP. Even if this guy was the Golden Light Battle Buddha with the longest HP, his HP was actually 4 times his own. He was really strong. The demon race was indeed worthy of being a race that could directly enter Jiutian from the 4th layer of heaven. Lu Chen was shocked by the opponent's HP, but the others were even more shocked. Ba A's brain short-circuited when he saw this. It wasn't rare for the demon race to deal over 100 million damage. The demon race was very powerful in the first place. Some of them had obtained some kind of opportunity that greatly increased their attributes. Coupled with some powerful cultivation techniques, they could also stack their statuses multiple times. But the difference was, this guy was using a normal attack. He directly insta-killed the Golden Light Battle Buddha who had activated Taunt. What kind of heaven-defying damage is this? How can a human deal such high damage? Ba A, don't just stand there, heal him. Quick. Although Ba A was a Gu master, he was a Gu master who had changed his profession from alchemist, so he naturally knew how to heal. Great Earth Rejuvenation. However, not only was Lu Chen's attack high, his attack speed was also extremely terrifying. The moment Ba A raised his hand, Lu Chen's second attack had already landed on the monk. Even if Great Earth Rejuvenation was added, the monk would still die without a doubt. This time, the monk could no longer endure the 5 consecutive attacks. His chest was directly pierced through by Limitless Sword, and he flew backwards, nailed to the stone pillar beside Sacred Battle Buddha Venerable. Lu Chen grabbed at the air, and Limitless Sword of Demonic God shot out and returned to his hand. With a loud bang, a bolt of lightning several meters in diameter descended from the sky, blasting towards Lu Chen and that mage. 9 void steps. Lu Chen hurriedly dodged. This bolt of lightning had already been forewarned, so Lu Chen had no difficulty dodging it. After accumulating strength for so long, it's only at this level. Lu Chen snorted coldly, but when he turned around, he found something wrong. That mage was floating in the air, his body flashing with lightning, like a thunder god descending to the world. His divine might was awe-inspiring. Behind him, a large amount of lightning struck his body, but not only did it not kill him, it even caused his body to explode with lightning. Solipsistic, my demon race is actually a place where you can come and go as you please. Today, I will turn you into dregs. Lu Chen took a deep breath. The demon race was indeed strong, every heaven general had considerable strength, and this wind thunder was even stronger than Dong Fang Ji's Jiutian thunder. Chapter 6:17. Louis couldn't wait to run to her brother's room, but the last time her brother fainted, she knew in advance the cruelty of the high heavens. Her appearance now might affect her brother's performance. They were only separated by a wall, but she couldn't visit her brother. This made Louis feel like she was sitting on pins and needles. Brother, what kind of monsters are you facing now? Nothing must happen. Louis prayed silently. When the players on Earth saw the battle of level 4, it completely exceeded their understanding of the strong. My God, this is already beyond the reach of human strength. Every opponent is like a god. Thunder God. Is that guy a prophet? Are prophets so strong in the later stage? What later stage? Mad God is only at level 4 now, not even half of Jiutian. At most, he's at the early stage. But prophets can borrow the power of nature. It's really terrifying. While the players were discussing the battle scene, Solipsistic also moved. 9 void steps. As soon as he took a step, a vortex formed under his feet, and the surrounding electricity was directly absorbed into the vortex. What is that, a vortex? Holy War Demon Master's eyes widened. While moving, he absorbed the opponent's skill damage, dodging, and counteracting the damage at the same time. He had never seen such a displacement skill before. The second step, stepping on the void, Lu Chen had already risen into the air. I'm all ears. Lu Chen grabbed the void with one hand. Deep Thunder, be careful. Although prophets had huge long-range damage and AoE abilities, their melee abilities were weaker than archers, and they didn't have recovery abilities. Lu Chen had already shown the effect of being all ears before, forcefully pulling the opponent in front of him, which was quite domineering. Combined with his terrifying melee damage, it was definitely not a wise choice to let him get close. At this moment, several long-range attacks came. Lu Chen didn't even look back. He took the third step, 9 void steps, and caused these skills to be severely offset. At the same time, he got closer to Deep Thunder. Does he have an eye on the back? How can he dodge so accurately? The spectators below the stage were puzzled. Lu Chen was no longer using the Eye of the Gods of Darkness. Instead, he was using an immortal-grade magic treasure that was even stronger than the Eye of the Gods of Darkness, the Heavenly Gaze. Dodging those long-range attacks was naturally not a problem. Don't play maglev with me. Get down. Lu Chen growled and grabbed at Deep Thunder. Solipsistic, don't think that I'm a pushover. Do you really think I'm afraid of you getting close to me? You've been tricked. Thunder and Lightning Forbidden Zone. Suddenly, Lu Chen was squeezed by 2 huge forces, and his body was temporarily unable to move. At the same time, Lu Chen's listen attentively captured the hidden thunder, and it quickly shot toward Lu Chen. Do you really think that the demon heavenly generals are useless? I'll let you have a taste of the power of a melee mage. Lightning Attribute Celestial Body. Infusion of Heavenly Lightning. Countless lightning bolts bombarded Yu Lei's body. That person had already been struck by hundreds of lightning bolts. His back seemed to be blooming with a flower of lightning. Even the people of the demon race were shocked. Oh my God, what is he doing? Can someone withstand such a terrifying infusion of heavenly lightning? It's already more than 100 heavenly lightning bolts. His lightning attribute celestial body has already reached 2 stars. In terms of the combat strength of his body, Yu Lei is already worthy of the title of number 1 among the heavenly generals. I can already imagine that the damage of Heavenly General Yu Lei's next attack will reach an unimaginable level. The lightning bolts had already struck Yu Lei as a flame demon. At this time, his body gradually lost its physical form. A pair of white eyes stared at his prey like the god of death. Solipsistic, go to hell. Thunder God slaying slash. Yu Lei's body turned into a bolt of lightning. Using the pulling force of his capture, his speed increased explosively, and he shot toward Lu Chen. Ba Jia frowned. Yu Lei has already cultivated a lightning attribute celestial body. Combined with the thunder god slaying slash, it's too terrifying. It seems that Yu Lei is already a strong competitor for the next heavenly general position, another person said. This guy hid his strength well. If it wasn't for the battle with Solipsistic, I really wouldn't have known that he's already so strong. Now we don't need to do anything. Flame Demon's eyes were about to pop out. Under such an attack, Solipsistic wouldn't be able to survive. Old Kwang. After all, the demon race was a super strong race. Their foundation was far superior to that of the human race. Moreover, the demon race had been passed down for thousands of years. In reality, they already had an extremely strong physical body. If it were a human race, it would take a long time to cultivate to be able to withstand such a powerful heavenly lightning infusion. Uncle Kwang. Devon was so nervous that he didn't dare to watch the battle. Don't die. On Earth, countless people saw this scene and had already forgotten to continue sending bullet comments. A guide suddenly sent a message. Mad God is going to die. In Wuxia's United Front Command Center, Lin Hai was holding a cup of coffee. Although I don't like to drink this stuff, coffee is still better when it comes to refreshing myself. Lin Hai looked up and saw the scene in the video. At this moment, he was frozen in place. The cup of coffee in his hand had already been turned over, but he didn't react at all. At this moment, his eyes were fixed on the screen. Lu Chen. The lightning forbidden zone wasn't a domain or barrier type skill. Instead, it was an AoE control skill. Under the effects of the primal chaos domain, it could control solipsistic. Currently, Lu Chen was like a target, suspended in mid-air and unable to move. Meanwhile, after absorbing an unknown amount of lightning, the mutated race member gathered a large amount of energy and transformed into a bolt of lightning that shot towards Lu Chen. No one doubted that Hidden Thunder would miss this attack. Right now, there was only one thing that everyone doubted. Could solipsistic survive this attack? Lu Chen's body was firmly stuck, as if some kind of force field was forcefully suppressing his body. Seeing that the opponent's killing move was about to arrive, Lu Chen's dual-colored eyes glowed with a golden-green light, as if they were about to explode. Doppelganger. More than 30 doppelgangers suddenly appeared, blocking in front of Lu Chen's real body. Lightning-shocking thunder arrived. Starting from the first doppelganger, deity-slaying thunder silently pierced through their bodies at an extremely fast speed. How much damage can your doppelganger block? Naive. Break for this daddy. In the blink of an eye, the doppelganger was killed. Just as he arrived in front of Lu Chen's real body, he saw a pair of fiery eyes. Void shattering. With a loud boom, the two ultimate skills collided head-on at this moment. A white ball of light exploded in the sky. The surging energy didn't have time to spread out and formed a huge ball of light, engulfing the two of them. The strong light blinded everyone's eyes. Earth's live broadcast room was filled with white screens. Brother. Lu Yi's voice was hoarse. Her brother was just next door, so she didn't dare to shout too loudly. However, she couldn't hold it in any longer. With a clang, the coffee cup in Lin Hai's hand fell to the ground and shattered. Lin Hai blankly said, Lu Chen, are you still alive? Chapter 6:18. After the white ball of light accumulated a huge amount of energy, it finally exploded. The surging spiritual energy rushed out in all directions. The storm swept over and people could not stand steadily. However, the first thing everyone did when they opened their eyes was not to care about the terrifying aftershock. They tried hard to look at the sky. At this time, Yulei's thunder astral body had been beaten out of its original form. Lu Chen's fist had blasted a big hole in his body. His body was already incomplete and even his internal organs were gone. Why are you so strong? It's impossible for a human to be so strong. Lu Chen did not speak. Yulei's body fell from the sky. Lu Chen was not much better off. He fell at the same time as Yulei. Lu Yi did not care so much anymore. She rushed to her brother's room. When she saw her brother in the gaming cabin, Lu Yi covered her mouth in horror. At this time, Lu Chen was bleeding from his 7 orifices. There were black burn marks on his arms and his whole body was trembling. In the eyes of others, Mad God killing Yulei was quite amazing. However, only Lu Yi knew how serious Lu Chen's physical injuries were. This was reality, not Jiutian. Brother. Lu Yi cried as she rushed out of the gaming cabin. It was this shout that woke up Lu Chen, who had almost fainted. As he fell, Lu Chen saw the flame demon's family. Di Wen threw himself into his mother's arms. He could not bear to look anymore. The flame demon's bloody eyes were wide open. He was heartbroken. If he fainted like this, they would definitely die. Therefore, he could not lose yet. Lu Yi. Don't open the cabin door. Lu Chen said weakly. I can't go offline now. Also, my battle is not over yet. In the Jiutian, Lu Chen's eyes widened. He flipped in the air and landed on the ground. Please note that your physical injuries have reached 48%. Your maximum health has decreased by 48%. You can no longer use skills such as Shatter the Void, 9 Steps in the Void, Splitting Hua Mountain, and other skills. For Lu Chen, a 48% physical damage wasn't too high. However, because it was caused by a single attack, it was normal for him to faint after suffering such a violent attack. However, it would be troublesome if he couldn't use many of his skills, including Lu Chen's usual skills and trump cards. Old Kwang, you're not dead. The Balrog looked at Lu Chen in shock. You crow's beak, I won't die yet. Lu Chen shook his head. With a turn of his head, he had already charged towards the other Central Heaven generals. You're already in this state, yet you still dare to come and seek death. Just at this moment, a saber light came from afar and cut the several dozen meter tall execution platform in half. At the same time, it stopped Lu Chen. Everyone looked in the direction of the saber light in shock. There, a tall man tore off his cloak. Great heavenly general. The Holy War Demon Sovereign walked up to the execution platform and said to the other 6 Central Heaven generals in a deep voice, I've already lost 2 capable generals. You still need to command the army. We can't lose any more. Even though the great heavenly general was powerful, he couldn't turn the tide of the battle between the 9 camps by himself. These 8 Central Heaven generals also shouldered the heavy responsibility of command. If they lost too many, even if they managed to take down the Solipsistic in the end, the gains would definitely not make up for the losses. Solipsistic, you're already an arrow at the end of its flight. Do you still want to resist? Lu Chen snorted coldly, Great Heavenly General, what a scheme. You waited for me to be seriously injured before you dared to come on stage. TSK, TSK, TSK. How brave. Do you think your provocation will work on me? On the battlefield, you have to be unscrupulous. I only have one goal, and that is to win, whether it's the battle between the 9 camps or the battle with you. Only the victor has the right to protect what he wants to protect. What's the use of the defeated, no matter how glorious they are? As a great heavenly general of the demon race, everything I do is for the benefit of the demon race. I don't care what you say to me. Lu Chen originally wanted to mock Demon Sovereign Hallowed, but after hearing these words, he put away his frivolous attitude. Demon Sovereign Hallowed might be his mortal enemy, but he also had the determination to protect the demon race. If he were a demon, then with such a great heavenly general overseeing him, he would feel incomparably reassured. Solipsistic, the battle between you and me has nothing to do with personal grudges. It's just that we have different standpoints. Demon Sovereign Hallowed said, what I'm thinking about is the safety of my people. As for you, you're only trying to show off your strength for your own selfish desires. You don't have the qualifications to compare with me. Lu Chen smiled and shook his head. Although you don't understand me very well, you can at least be considered an opponent worthy of respect. Very good. In this battle, I will do my best. Do your best. In your current state, even if you do your best, you won't have the slightest chance of winning. And if I win? Demon Sovereign Hallowed faintly smiled. Win? Let's not talk about you winning. If you can withstand my attack, then I will admit that Ifrit hasn't betrayed our race. Behind him, Ifrit's eyes widened. To him, these words held far too great a significance. He was originally a person who cared deeply about honor and glory. For Lu Chen, he had given up everything. Moreover, if he could wash away the sin of betraying his race, Isha and Divan would no longer be controlled by others. Lu Chen smiled. He had been waiting for these words. Old Flame, it looks like you have a chance to make a comeback. But, anyone could see that Lu Chen was severely wounded and the great heavenly general's strength was unfathomably deep. In this situation, they could only gamble on a single move. In a frontal collision, Solipsistic would almost certainly die. Old Kwang, don't worry about me. Don't gamble with him. No one can withstand his attack. Not even your shattering the void. Lu Chen faintly smiled. How do you know if you don't try? This is your only chance. In the future, you won't need to wander around with me. Uncle Kwang, don't gamble. The Holy War Demon Sovereign's attack is too terrifying. You can't withstand it right now. Divan looked sadly at Lu Chen. Lu Chen turned and walked over. He took out the Eye of the Dark Gods from his backpack. Divan, I came here in a hurry. Uncle Kwang doesn't have anything to give you. Although this treasure is only dark gold, it's very useful. Uncle Kwang will give it to you. Uncle Kwang, remember, skills are dead, but people are alive. You will definitely be stronger than your father in the future. Divan cried sadly. Uncle Kwang, you must go. Lu Chen faintly smiled. Didn't your father teach you that a man should take responsibility for himself? Uncle Kwang also thinks so. Old Kwang. Ifrit's heart was filled with pain. I implicated you. If you hadn't left with me in prison, things wouldn't have turned out this way. Lu Chen faintly smiled and patted Ifrit's shoulder. What are you saying? They want me to join the Immortal Army, so I'll join. Instead, I should be thanking you. You made me understand that every race has their own beliefs. Every race has people like you who can become good brothers. I'm not fighting for you in this battle. I'm fighting for my own beliefs. Sister-in-law, if I win, take good care of Old Flame. With that, Lu Chen turned around and stood in front of the Holy War Demon Sovereign. The Holy War Demon Sovereign narrowed his eyes. Lowly human, it wasn't easy for you to reach this step. As a sign of respect for the strong, I won't show you any mercy. I will use my strongest attack to end your life. Lu Chen coughed several times and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. Raising his head, Lu Chen's eyes shone with a green light. Holy War, you're wrong. Lowly? No, the human race is not lowly. Compromise is the root of lowly. And I will never compromise. Chapter 6:19. One move to determine the outcome. In this battle, Lu Chen and Demon Venerable Holy War had yet to make a move, but their respective weapons were already restless. The sky-splitting axe let out a rare buzz. The godly demon sword seemed a little displeased by the opponent's provocation, and the weapon's spirit's power was even more ferocious than before. What are these two weapons? My immortal weapon's attributes are fluctuating in front of these two weapons. We all know that the sky-splitting axe is a semi-divine weapon, but what weapon is that in Solipsistic's hand? Why does it feel like the sky-splitting axe wants to challenge that sword? Could it be a divine weapon? Impossible, there are no true divine weapons in the fourth heaven. Demon Venerable Holy War narrowed his eyes slightly. This was the first time someone could make the sky-splitting axe so excited. He snorted coldly and raised the sky-splitting axe with one hand. Demonic power, primordial awakening. With a boom, Demon Venerable Holy War's body suddenly expanded several times, and he was more than 10 meters tall. Demonic aura surged around him, and his majestic body was like a war god. No way, the great celestial general actually used demonic power. This is the first time I've seen the great celestial general use demonic power. His demonic power can actually awaken the power of the primordial demon clan. The primordial demon clan is the strongest demon clan. Solipsistic is definitely going to lose. At the same time, the sky-splitting axe in Demon Venerable Holy War's hand expanded several times, and his entire body was shrouded in black mist. Holy King Sky-splitting axe, destruction of heaven and earth. For a moment, the sky changed color, dark clouds rolled, and wild winds raged. It was just the charging stage, but this move had already triggered a phenomenon. A thunderous rumble rang out, as if the heavens and earth were enraged by someone using such a disrespectful move. The thunder exploded in the hearts of countless people, making them tremble with fear. My God, using destruction of heaven and earth in the primordial awakening state, is the great celestial general serious? The fortress protective formation is going to be destroyed. I saw this move 30 years ago. Back then, Demon Sovereign Holy War was running for the position of Great Celestial General. At that time, he was fighting against the heartless inferior demon, who was known as the strongest demon of his generation. Everyone thought that Demon Sovereign Holy War would lose. However, at the end of the battle, Demon Sovereign Holy War used Ancient Awakening and destruction of heaven and earth to instantly kill the heartless inferior demon. A demigod artifact should be able to evolve. 30 years have passed, and the Skysplitter axe has been fighting everywhere. It has improved quite a bit. Furthermore, the strength of the Holy War has long since changed. Now that it is using this move again, it is no longer on the same level as before. When Solipsistic fought with Yulei, he almost died. He should have used up most of his trump cards. His body was damaged. I just want to ask, where did he get the courage to agree to a gambling battle with a great celestial general? Seeing the Holy War Demon Venerable's moves, the Earth players were dumbfounded. Is this the strength of a fourth celestial layer? Oh my God, if I didn't have the opportunity to see Mad God in action, I would never believe it. It's like a battle between gods. Where is the pinnacle of strength in the nine heavens domain? In this world, no, in this universe, other than gods, who can block such a terrifying move? Mad God, Lu Chen's black robe fluttered in the wind. The great celestial general of the demon race should already be at the peak of the fourth celestial layer. And this move, heaven and earth destruction, proved that the Holy War Demon Venerable was indeed a genuine super powerhouse. However, Lu Chen's expression was calm at this time. The harsh environment around him couldn't shake his calm heart. He didn't expect that in the midst of a life-and-death battle, he would comprehend another state. Calm and collected. His hatred for the great celestial general had faded. The Holy War Demon Venerable was just fulfilling his duty, so why should there be hatred? Wasn't it the same for the entire demon race? Wasn't it the same for the myriad races? Clasping his hands in front of his chest, Lu Chen closed his eyes slightly. Suddenly, the heavenly eye automatically flew out and landed on his forehead. Heavenly eye, open. The heavenly eye on Lu Chen's forehead suddenly opened. At this moment, he seemed to feel the spiritual energy circulating in the surrounding wind. After capturing this spiritual energy, Lu Chen took a deep breath and offset it with the opposite spiritual energy. The wind around him stopped. In the storm, only this side was pure land. Nirvana rebirth 2 times. Lu Chen directly skipped the death stage and took the initiative to waste 2 chances of rebirth. Flames ignited around him. In the flames, Lu Chen's figure became blurry. When he opened his eyes again, the golden light and green fog in Lu Chen's eyes dissipated, and his original clear eyes were restored. The Mad God's eyes have changed. Is he still in the state of celestial demon symbiosis? It should be. It's impossible for him not to use his strongest state in the battle against the great celestial general. It's just that his state of mind has changed. The dual-colored eyes of the celestial demon symbiosis seem to be a manifestation of 2 emotions, but he seems to be controlling his emotions. That person was right. It was impossible for Lu Chen not to use the celestial demon symbiosis in the battle against the holy war demon Venerable. The manifestation of the celestial demon symbiosis was not the dual-colored eyes. For example, sometimes when Lu Chen was angry, his eyes would emit green fog, which was actually a manifestation of his emotions. At this time, when his heart was as still as water, he could naturally control his emotions. Of course, this was only a battle state, a state of mind in battle. A calm heart could only help him be more stable in battle, but it could not help him win. Azura doppelganger. Lu Chen's body first turned into a three-headed, six-armed state, and then quickly divided into three identical bodies. What kind of doppelganger skill is that? It doesn't seem to be an illusion. Impossible, how can there be such a doppelganger skill? It should be an illusion. Perhaps only when Yanran and the others were here could they see that this move was Azura's three-headed, six-armed state. Three doppelganger of the real body. After Lu Chen obtained the Azura Saraira, which was upgraded from the Saraira beads, he obtained this rare doppelganger skill. Unfortunately, they did not have the chance to watch this live broadcast. At the same time, the Holy War Demon Venerable finished charging, and the three Lu Chen stared at each other. The final blow was coming. Break for me. The Holy War Demon Venerable roared, and at the same time he attacked, he used the flash skill and instantly appeared in front of Lu Chen. Whether you are a doppelganger or a real body, you will be turned into dust under the destruction of heaven and earth. Die. The three Lu Chens had almost the same expression. Their nostrils flared, their eyes widened, and their faces instantly turned ferocious. Shatter the void triple strike. Wuji's sword was very depressed. He was already prepared for battle, but in the end, his boss actually used his fists. The three Lu Chens punched at each other at the same time. With a collective explosion, the fortress wall 100 meters away collapsed. The shock wave produced by the collision of powerful forces was transmitted from the execution platform under their feet to the ground. The whole ground shook violently like an earthquake. Everyone, including the 6 surviving Central Heavenly Generals, had to circulate their spiritual energy and use their methods in order to stand firm amidst such tremors. Isha used a spiritual power shield to protect her master, Fire Demon, and Devon, but they were the closest to the battlefield and were directly sent flying by the aftershock. The dark clouds in the sky were split in half from the middle and scattered to the sides. On Earth, Louis only saw her brother in the game cabin suddenly spit out a mouthful of blood, which completely covered the glass window of the game cabin. Chapter 620. Li Muhua rushed to Lu Chen's villa with a group of military doctors. Li Muhua was also anxious, but he was still calm. Louis, don't worry. The medical team is on their way, and they have a lot of equipment. As long as Lu Chen comes out, he can receive the best treatment. However, we can't open the hatch now. If we do, it will cause damage to Lu Chen's brain. That would be troublesome. I didn't expect the battle in the 4th layer of heaven to affect reality so obviously. Let's see how Lu Chen is doing in the live broadcast. Brother, don't let anything happen to you. Louis couldn't help but cry. Now, they could only understand Lu Chen's situation from the live broadcast. The 300 live broadcast rooms were strangely quiet, and the screen was still in chaos. The direct collision between the two super powerhouses had already caused the Devil Race's stronghold to collapse. After a full 2 minutes, the image finally became clear. What people saw was only ruins. As for the execution platform, it no longer existed. My God, what kind of destructive power is this? It's too scary. What about Mad God? Is he still alive? Please, you must live. I don't care if you betray the clan or not. I admire you for daring to break into the demon fortress alone to save your friend. Lin Hai's coffee had spilled all over the floor. He put the teacup on the table and walked to the big screen with the others. Lu Chen, you must live. I believe you won't betray the clan. I know what kind of person you are. Please, don't die. Beside Lin Hai, the iron blood Great Wall's heart was in his throat. You can't die. You are our hope. Old Kwang. Balrog struggled to stand up and rushed into the ruins with his family. Old Kwang, don't die. You're so tough. You won't die, right? Balrog looked around. Aisha and Devon tried to push away the broken tiles. Not far away, a thick arm pushed away the stone. Everyone's eyes were focused on that hand. It's the great divine general. He's still alive. The holy war demon Venerable pushed away the stone on his body and staggered out of the ruins. Green blood seeped out of the corner of his mouth. His left arm was missing, and there was a huge hole under his left rib. Great Heavenly General. Ba Jia and the others rushed over to help him up, but the Great Heavenly General pushed them away. He didn't say anything and just stared into the distance. The Balrog's arms were broken, but following Holy War Demon Sovereign's gaze, he seemed to sense something. Aisha, Devon, quick, there. Isha and Devon hurriedly rushed over and pulled open a few thick stone pillars on the ground. Sure enough, there was a person lying under the ruins. Uncle Kwang. Devon hurriedly pulled Lu Chen out. Old Kwang. The Balrog rushed over. Aisha, take a look at him. Isha checked Lu Chen's breathing and looked at the flame demon in disbelief. He's still breathing. It's just that his injuries were too severe and he fainted. The flame demon's chest heaved violently. He stood in front of Lu Chen and glared at the holy war demon sovereign. If anyone dares to come over, I, the flame demon, will fight them to the death. And me. Devon stood beside his father, clenching his fists. The holy war demon sovereign indifferently looked at the two people. Flame demon, you didn't misjudge him. The flame demon looked at the holy war demon sovereign in confusion. The holy war demon sovereign's condition wasn't good either. His complexion was dim and blood constantly seeped out from the corners of his mouth and ears. Especially the wound below his left rib, it was nearly fatal. In order to save a demon, he actually went to such lengths. This already proves what kind of person he is. The holy war demon sovereign's voice was weak, his gaze never leaving the dying demon. From the moment his eyes became clear, I already knew that what this person sees is different from what we see. Perhaps in his eyes, there is no difference between races, no difference between friend and foe. All he has ever done is protect his beliefs. The holy war demon sovereign suddenly laughed, a trace of self-mockery in his voice. In the vast nine heavens realm, we are nothing more than insignificant existences. But, I never imagined that there would be someone who wouldn't compromise with the world. And he is actually the weakest human. After saying this, the holy war demon sovereign looked at the shadow stone in the sky. Earthlings, you should be proud to have such a brave warrior. After saying this, the holy war demon sovereign lowered his head, turned around, and staggered away. Flame demon, restore your family's reputation. If you have any medicine, hurry and give it to him. Don't let him die. Flame demon was dumbfounded. How did things suddenly become like this? Holy war, wait. You mean, in your battle just now, you. The holy war demon sovereign stopped and took a deep breath. I lost. He still had a life-locking skill that saved his life, but he deliberately missed and spared my life. The entire audience was shocked. The demons were shocked. The holy war demon sovereign had personally admitted defeat. This man who had never been defeated in a one-on-one battle had actually lost. The earthlings were shocked. Mad God had won. But thinking back, in that moment of life and death, Mad God actually didn't kill him and deliberately spared the holy war demon sovereign's life. Not only did Mad God win the final battle, but he had also won the respect of his opponent. Li Muhua nearly went crazy. Oh my god, this guy actually went easy on him at that time. He's crazy. Why is it that every time I watch him fight, he scares me half to death? Li Muhua turned back to look at Lu Chen in the game cabin. Through the blood-colored glass, that guy's chest was still rising and falling, indicating that he still had signs of life. My god, you brat, you'll feel uncomfortable if you don't give us a heart attack. Lu Yi was still worried about her brother's safety. Then are we going to save my brother now? At this moment, someone hurried in from outside the door. Lu Yi recognized this person. It was the guide of their wild waves. His ID was Zhui Guang. Zhui Guang. You. Li Muhua was shocked. Lu Chen's house was protected by the military. There were even military personnel guarding outside. How could a stranger enter? He only knew now. Thinking of Lu Chen and Lu Yi's safety, Li Muhua quickly pulled out his gun and aimed at the newcomer. Stop! How did you get in? Looking at the black muzzle, Zhui Guang smiled. Since I can come in, do you think that thing in your hand is useful to me? Li Muhua frowned. What do you mean? Don't tell me you're invulnerable. More or less. Zhui Guang said leisurely, I'm here to take a look at his condition. I'm also here to tell you that it's even more important not to move him out of the game cabin now. In the game, it's forbidden to reveal information about the high-level heavens. I have no choice but to come offline to tell you. In the fourth heaven, there are a lot of physical damage skills. The demon lord's heaven and earth destruction must be the same. However, you don't have to worry. Since Solipsistic is still alive and the demon lord has already admitted defeat in the Jotian, as long as he receives treatment in the game, the effects will be reflected in reality. With Earth's current technological level, you won't be able to heal him. He can recover in the game. Hearing Zhui Guang say that Lu Chen was fine, Lu Yi was slightly relieved. However, she looked at Zhui Guang again. No, you're here. Could it be that you're an earthling? Zhui Guang shook his head helplessly. I'll explain this later. I'm just afraid that you'll move that kid's body. This time, I can only choose to show myself. Remember, you still have to listen to Tianqing's warning. Don't move anyone out of the game cabin. Alright, I'm leaving. Put away that gun of yours. Its speed may not be as fast as mine. After saying that, Zhui Guang left the room in the blink of an eye. Li Muhua and Lu Yi looked at each other. Is this guy still human? Lu Yi frowned. I don't know either. However, since the game can be extracted, maybe, he's human. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.